You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine like jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
We talking about practice.
Don't run away from your feelings!
You are so dumb. You are
That's
really
my
dumb.
man. No! We talking about practice.
Don't run away from your feelings!
That's my man. No!
Don't run away from your feelings!
That's my man. No! That's my man. No! Practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
He waits for the beat to drop on the slowest beat drop of human beat drop. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen! Episode 14 of the FooL and Friends is brought to you by Ignorant Ale. In the building. Round of applause. We got Matt from Ignorant Ales in the building. Mr. Matty, Mr. Matt, Mr. Big Balls. I just gave you that title myself. But nah, for real though.
I'm taking it.
I appreciate you for coming in and bringing this.
It's like it's not just my beer. All right.
Right, nah, you just fuck it. Balls on the table. So go ahead and tell us about what we got going on here. The first round of drinks appearance. Is this all the same one, right?
All the same one. Okay. This one's our Belgium table beer. It's kind of hard to keep track with us and keep up with us. One of my main goals when I started all this was to always be putting out new beer as much as I possibly can. With that, I'm not just trying to throw beer out there. I do want it to be quality beer. I want it to be beers that I enjoy drinking personally. I just feel like it's going to shine the best that way.
Okay.
I want to use local ingredients as much as possible. But this one's a little bit more straightforward. I let the yeast shine on this one as much as I could. Here in Florida, obviously, we got a lot of heat.
Yeah.
I'm a struggling artist. I don't have that much fermentation control as far as temperature goes, so I do a lot of tricks with my yeast, and I kind of play with a lot of different things.
That line right there. I do a lot of tricks with my yeast.
A lot of tricks.
As soon as it came out, I was like, oh, God.
It's over here. It's over here. It's over here.
We got a pause on all this? Like, what's going on?
He's like, let it slide, let it slide.
Shit! No, that's the best part about doing live, bro.
I was like, I was waiting for it. I was like,
No,
swing
you
for it.
gotta
Somebody
take that
swing it.
moment, bro.
But, in all seriousness, for sure, what we're trying to do is be as different as we can, but also be as approachable as we can, too. Trying to let the beer speak for itself. So, cheers to you guys.
Cheers to everybody.
You guys got
cheers.
Surge, one over
Surge
here.
over
on the
here.
board.
Oh shit, I get something.
Yeah, salute to everybody. Cheers and all that shit.
All right, fellas.
We all gingerly touched our glasses.
So it's just a light, refreshing beer. That's another thing that we're trying to do is sessionable beers packed with flavor. We're in
I can get behind that.
I want you guys to be able to mow your lawn, smoke a little J if you want to, do whatever you need to do and not get super hammered. So a lot of our beers are going to be like right around 4 to 5%. We do a lot of fruited sour beers where they're kettle sours. They're right around 3.5%. Again, we pack them up with jammy fruits, like 2 to 4 pounds per 5 gallons. I've got one right now that we call Cottonmouth Killer. It's guava and mango. We got one that we call Motion of the Ocean. We don't use any. We don't use any fruit. We just use the hops, and we make the hops kind of give you the impression that there was fruits used as far as aromas go and the flavors go.
Dry hop?
Yeah, dry hop the shit out of it for sure. A lot of late additions, Citra, Galaxy, and Mosaic, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Nice.
Exactly. Yep.
Not bad at all.
I think that one's
This is
like
delicious,
3.8%.
I love it.
Again, real sessionable.
I'm trying not to drink it too fast.
And which one is this one?
That's the vegan cat.
The vegan cat?
Yeah, I try and do a lot of crazy, stupid names, whatever's coming to my mind, at any given retarded time. Oh, I mean, yeah, cat's the whole thing. So
it's an ignorant ale with dead cats in it.
Well, the cat on the joint, that's our mascot. We got a black cat at the house called Stout. So like I was talking to you guys earlier and shit when we were talking. I don't want to do any pastry stouts. I don't want to do any dark, heavy, super sweet stouts. no disrespect. It's not something that I'm personally super into. I enjoy them, don't get me wrong. But a lot of the homies out here, Seven Sun, Angry Chair, big shout out. They kill it. They're already doing it. They're already hammering it down. Why even try and even move in that lane?
Right.
To me, it would be more important to come out and carve my own niche and say, hey, look, this is what I have to give to the industry and give to the community.
Yo,
This shit.
God, this was really tasty.
Good. Yeah.
Yo, and I love the logo. I really do, bro. So shout out to the logo. Who's was the artist?
Shit. Jimmy Rodriguez. If
Jimmy
I'm not mistaken. Y'all
Rodriguez.
gotta make me look him up.
Look
out
him
west,
up.
California.
Give out the Instagram. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I'm
he
gonna
has
give
it.
you the
Yeah, if he's
Instagram
got
right
an
now.
Instagram, let him know. So let me ask you. We're gonna do a couple questions and then we'll jump into one of our first reviews for the night.
Hey, real quick before I get
Yeah.
shout out to L Jimmy on Instagram.
L
At
Jimmy.
EL Jimmy.
EL Jimmy, Jimmy.
Yep.
Boom, L Jimmy, the Jimmy, the El Nino,
Big balls
immediately.
and the Jimmy.
Right. All right. So, you were talking about this a little bit prior to the show. When did you start officially or start in general?
All right, so it's like a double-edged question. So I got into beer, I would say probably 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. Just a crazy beer nerd. I'd waste every paycheck I had, collecting bottles, trading bottles, in-state, out-of-state, traveling up and down the East Coast, going to different breweries. Just really enjoyed beer, and then it kind of snowballed into, okay, I got an addictive personality, so it kind of snowballed into, can I make this? And then the great old YouTube folks. If you don't know anything in life, youtube.com, figure that shit
Pretty
out.
much, yeah.
Shout out
YouTube
to
University.
YouTube. But in all seriousness, I just went after it. I brewed a batch of beer. We were talking about it earlier. It was my first beer. I'll never forget it. Bath bomb. I fermented in my kid's shower. I went to go check on the beer, and the airlock was just a little bit filled with yeast. I was freaked out. Didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I got to change that. I got to get that out of there. Right. And when I touched it, as soon as I touched it, this shit shot up in the air. There's yeast, just like a fountain of yeast and beer all over me. Every curse word that you can think of came out of my mouth in one moment. I capped that shit back up, finally calmed back down. Started reading all kinds of shit on the internet. Freaked out.
Dude, that's
like WebMD by beer.
Right.
So fucking just everything that could go wrong, I thought did go wrong. Long story short, fucking we cracked one of the bottles maybe a month and a half later. I was like, oh fuck, I'm hooked on this. We can do this.
That's dope. Congratulations on that, dude. That's pretty awesome. So, and to kind of tandem off of that, because there's a moment that you mentioned earlier that I like what you had to say about it is I think it was your first event you did or whatever.
Oh yeah, so. My family, we got a deep background in graphic design, so we did get the cat logo from my boy Jimmy out west in California. Shout out to Jimmy again, L Jimmy, at all that Instagram stuff. Sorry, I'm old. But yeah, so Jimmy drew up the cat for me, custom, completely. I hit him up one day on Instagram. I know he probably thought I was crazy. We started going back and forth. He had it back to me in less than a week.
Nice,
cool. Gave it to my pops. My pops, a longtime graphic designer. Taught me a lot of what I know about marketing and media, to begin with. So he's the one that did that little promo shot for us that we shot on Instagram and Facebook today. Which I apologize.
But no,
Shizzle,
it's cool.
My bad, Shizzle. Shout out to Shizzle.
Yeah.
My bad.
Because
Shizzle's
now the unofficial mascot. You as well.
I saw that.
And you.
I was like, listen.
So they did a dope flyer, right? But it said FooL and Friends, but it had the cover photo from Flowhile Radio.
Oh, okay.
So it was you, Shizzle, and whoever the other guy was. I don't know who that guy was.
I can't even remember who was in the picture.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And it looks great. But it's just I was like, that's not the FooL.
It's all
that's
family.
definitely not him. But it was great though, because it still looked amazing and still got the point across. It's just everybody, the people that saw that were probably like, there's nobody.
Yeah.
Who's that? But yeah, no, seriously though, it did look really good. I was mad impressed. And I was like, yo, that shit came out nowhere.
Yeah, and shout out to Pops.
Yeah.
I'm about to segue into that. So I gave all the artwork to the old man. The old man, Chase Design and Print, Chase Graphics. This guy changes his name more than Kanye does. But either way, the old man does all my labels, my printing, my graphic layouts, all the little designs that I do for individual beers at events and everything. He's the one that's doing them all for me. My tablecloth, all that. So another thing, and I'm going to get back to it, but another thing that I wanted to start this off and really do this with was for my family. And I'm trying to keep as much of this in my family as possible. My father's a graphic designer. My brother-in-law's an engineer. Right. My stepdad's an aviation engineer. You know, my sister's accounting. So we're just trying to keep it in the family. I'm not trying to blow up. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm just trying to have a small local brewery and kind of get back to the community as much as I can. But to go back to where we started, I seen this homebrew event. I entered in a few of a contest beforehand. I got my head a little big. I was like, you know, we're going to go into this event, but my natural self, I'm going to go all the way. You know, we took the graphic design and the marketing and media background, and I told my dad, yo, hook me up, let's go. As I know, I had this big-ass box on my front step, banner, pop-up banners, the whole 9. We go out to the event. Everybody's just there, rinky-dink tables, you know, regular fold-up tables, little coolers and shit like that. We pull up, we got banners, signs, the whole 9, T-shirts, everything. So we set up, we're going through the event, and you start hearing little whispers and shit like that. People are like, yo, these kids came out here marketing, so da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. I'm like, all right, we're doing something. Crowd starts coming in. People start talking about us, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? People start talking to us. They're like, yo, where are you guys at? You guys commercial brewery? When are you guys opening at? Where's the location? I looked at my boy Lewis. Shout out Lewis.
Right.
I looked at him. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? I was like, is this for real? And something snapped at me. I was like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to do this then. Yeah, we're looking for a location. We'll be open in like 2 years. And we just ran with it.
That's
and
dope.
To me, it was like, yo, put that shit out in the air. If it's there, we're going to put this shit out in the air, and I'm going to force myself. Even if the stars don't align, I put it out there, and it's out there in the public, especially the way social media is, the internet is right now. You got to hold yourself accountable. Your reputation is your reputation. That's all you got. So
true.
I put it out there, and I started talking about it. My wife thinks I was crazy. She was like, this dude's going to fucking lose our house. We're going to be living on the street. She probably still thinks I'm crazy, but, you know, it definitely snowballed into something. So, I mean, it led me to being here today and sharing these beers with you guys.
Hell yeah.
Which I humbly,
it's delicious.
I'm thankful for.
Round of applause for that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Round of applause for that. That was very eloquent, sir. All right, so let's get into the first review tonight.
Now, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Isn't it dope being able to work with your family?
Yeah,
true story.
It's a gift and a curse. You gotta know when to when and what family member to plug into when and where too, and how to keep them separated and let them all have their voice. And I know they're probably all listening here and they're probably like, "Yo, this motherfucker's about to say some shit right now." But I'm not.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we're gonna get to the first review tonight. We're gonna actually start it off with The Irishman. We're going right into that one because I have some things to say about it. I've been holding it in. Yes. And but since Red, you were the one that threw it up, so go ahead, you start.
Start?
Yeah.
So I fucking love The Irishman.
Yeah,
like loved it. I thought it was like an answer to Scorsese's older gangster flicks, and nice commentary on them a little bit. It's much more slow paced. The violence is much more raw and personal, and it's like really quick. It's not glorified. It's just like, this is what the real shit is. Like, this isn't like the glorified, romanticized version.
Okay.
This is the real, and it gets all the way to the end, where he's really dealing with it. Right. And then lots of themes on death, really.
Yeah.
Like
death, a lot of it. Yeah. So, like, out of it, what as we do, what was one of the scenes that kind of real just sat with you? Like, it was either just funny, memorable, whatever.
So
like your favorite.
No, but you can spoil
God
it.
Damn it.
Just spoil it.
Just go in.
Yeah, just do it.
It's like antithetical to my everything.
Do it.
Fucking do it. It has to be when he calls Joe.
Yeah.
When he calls Joe to tell him, like, oh, if Jimmy's fine, it's just like when he faked that kidnapping way back when, and he's like really struggling on the phone.
Right.
And then his daughter right before that in the living room, they see it on TV, and his wife's like, "Did you call Joe yet?"
Right.
All that shit, and then what does she say, man? That
sequence.
Yeah, the whole sequence before that, right before that, he kills the dude, and like I thought they were gonna off him, but I didn't think he was gonna do it like that. Like right when he gets in there.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's like
it's Jimmy Hoffa. Like, it's like watching that Titanic and be like, "Oh, that boat sank."
No, but like they talk.
We all know Jimmy Hoffa disappeared. Like,
yeah, you know he disappeared, but you don't know that dude killed him.
I mean, either
that Frank killed him.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And I get that.
And you can see it's fucking with him, the
Right.
whole car ride and everything, and like even just getting there.
how they painted it.
When he's like, "Give me your sunglasses" before he gets on the plane, and then when he gets back from doing what he did, getting back to sunglasses, like that's over. Like,
Right.
That's fucking. You got to put that shit behind you right there.
Yeah.
But when they're old men and they got their grape juice and their fucking bread and they're talking about it, he's like, we had to do it. Like,
yeah, it's not justified.
and it's like, but they never face reality that they're just murdering assholes. Like they never want to say that shit.
Well, yeah,
But
who
like-
does though in a sense like that, especially with the fucking mob and everything.
Yeah.
Like, of course, they're gonna
They
always.
always leave the door open.
Yeah,
at the end.
They're like, yeah, we had to do it, eh?
Yeah.
You know,
They're never gonna. Yeah, there's nothing final with them. Like, like they never say because like even the priest was like, he's like, what are you sorry for? Basically, like,
Right.
what are you atoning for? And he's like,
Well-
these people.
I painted house.
He's like, he just like talks around it and is like,
right.
yeah.
So
It's beautiful, man. It talks about what happens with families in those movies. Like,
Right.
those other, like, fuck. What do you mean, what?
So, all right. So, since we have a packed house, I want to try to, because I know we could probably sit on this for a while.
It's for sure.
All of it can be sat on. All of the.
I mean, there's
reviews.
so much deep shit going on.
Right.
But when he showed him in World War II, and he's like talking about how they don't even stop; they're burying their own graves, and
Right.
but they just want to do a good job. They don't realize that they think if they do a good job, the shooter ain't gonna shoot him and put him in there.
Right.
He's explaining his own life, like he was a
Right.
do boy for all these people.
Everybody.
And he's like, at the end of the movie, he's buying his own casket,
Yeah.
and he's negotiating while he's doing it. Like it's fucking genius.
That
It's fucking
shit
beautiful.
was fucking with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Action Bronson, by the way.
I knew he looked familiar. I was like, damn, who the
He's like,
fuck is that guy?
Don't you want to go home in style or some shit like that?
Yeah, but by that part though, I did not want to be past 85. Like I'm good.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
That
I'm
shit-
good.
the-
Let's sign
honestly,
a paper or something like
in
that.
that sense, though, when he falls in the house by himself.
Yeah, no, I was like, this is it.
But
Like,
through the whole movie, they're showing this guy died from a fucking pipe bomb. This guy and all this other shit, and they're all like dying in the late 70s, early 80s. And it's like all that romantic shit in those other gangster movies that they were doing prior to that, like it didn't end nowhere good. And even if they lived, they buying their own casket. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
it was a critique of his own, which is like who better to come from than him? But,
No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're honest with yourself, you're the best critic.
That's the
But-
beautiful thing about somebody with a career as long as his. You can see him evolve like that.
Yeah, and you still have it on film, basically.
He's an auteur, like
Right.
the highest degree, so he's gonna fucking deal with it. Fucking
So,
face it.
what are you giving it?
9.7.
9.7.
The only reason
Not
I
even-
take
Well, Riddle
Has
gives
the
the
only-
the only reason I take off
he
the
gives the
point.
highest ratings out of all of us.
The only reason I take off the point 3
Yeah.
points.
Uh-huh.
But well, I give out sevens.
No. On
I
his
mean,
own stuff.
I really
Your discretion
it has
is
to be.
on
It has to be bad for me to be like 5, 6.
Right.
I did pick it. Yeah. The point 3 is like the de-aging when it's fine, but like when the part where like the daughter got pushed in the grocery store and he's like, Joe up the street, and he goes over there and it's a cool scene. He beats his ass,
Right.
But the whole time you're like, God, he's moving like he's fucking 70. You know what I mean?
He's not 30.
And he was beating him up.
There's really nothing they could do to fix that, really.
Right.
But it's like, God,
made his
he does
face
not.
look young,
He does not
right.
look like he's 40 or whatever the fuck he is.
All right. So Chuck hasn't. You haven't. Right. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
I don't have Netflix right now.
All right. So you've seen it.
I mean, that was a synopsis of it.
Yeah.
My only thing was the whole shit with the old. Like, I
Yeah.
can't. I don't dig that. Like, give me 85, I'm good. And that's it.
So what was one of the scenes that stuck with you? Like either whether it was funny, whether it was dope, whatever. Just that one scene, you're like, yo.
My second wife, shout out.
What up? Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. Part that stuck out. Shit. I mean, I don't even know. That whole movie was just a little sketchy. Like, come back to me on Lawless though, for real.
Okay. All right, but what's your
Lawless
score
was-
for
See, I didn't know you guys were
Irishman?
scoring them. Oh, one thing I will say about the Irishman too, it doesn't have anything on the older movies. I think the older movies are still classics. They still hold
Okay.
it down. I'll put that out there. Great
right.
movie, a little longer than it needed to be.
Ooh.
That's just my opinion.
And it's 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Give give it like an 8.
Okay.
Well,
Respect.
before you give yours, let me just ask. Since I never saw The Irishman, I've been told it's kind of a similar version to like retelling of like Casino or Goodfellas.
Stuff like that, basically.
It's
It's
stuff
not
like
retelling
that.
at all.
But I mean, I've heard it's pretty
The
much
beginning
like the
is
same
the
thing.
first hour and a half.
Kind of like how.
Yeah, it's just like spinned
kinda
off.
goes that
Like you were
direction.
saying, just like spinned off perspectives
So, you know
of
how-
the situations
you know how
that
the-
you
But
go
what I
get
was
what's
talking
in the
about the other day,
Goodfellas?
though, is kind of like how Dances with Wolves is pretty much the same story as Avatar.
Right.
It's not like that.
Okay, that's what I was
So like, so
That's what I was
no,
wondering.
no.
It's like
It's not even close.
It's the same story,
Like,
essentially.
No. Like a Godfather, or in a, I said Godfather, Goodfellas. Like he goes into witness protection, right?
No, it was nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm saying the two
Yeah.
movies are nothing.
Like this is like what
I
happens.
was just
after
curious,
that.
you know.
Like,
Right.
it's like the last
gives
hour
you
and a
the
half.
whole
The last
picture.
hour and a half is everything.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it gives you
and
the
it builds to
big-
that. You
the
have to get
big,
the whole
big
story
picture.
to really get it.
Right.
Like you can't just jump into that. So like it
Well,
had to be the link.
And the thing that also has going for itself is that it is based on obvious
Yeah.
real shit. You know,
Yeah.
So like, but
Actually, that's debatable because
right,
it was written by a
but
dude.
General idea, you know,
Well, yeah, 'cause
stuff
Jimmy
that
Hoffa
has
was real.
happened. Right,
Yeah.
stuff has
But
happened.
that interpretation
you know.
is awesome.
Exactly. You know, you said Ruba. No, you didn't get to it. No, you didn't do any homework at all.
That's why you're on the casting couch.
I missed the last two shows and still did more homework than you.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
This guy didn't do any homework, comes in late.
Right? You failed. You fucking failed.
You're like me in school.
That's okay though. That's fine. All right. Yo, Joe first.
I need beer too.
All right, let's skip for the beer.
What you got on it? Give me your moment. Give me your scene.
This is my hot take. This was, in my opinion, one of probably Scorsese's weaker films.
Okay.
All right?
He said weaker.
Like, just because I think he was trying to recapture some of the essence that he had in the earlier '90s films, like Goodfellas.
Okay.
You know, to that end, I think also, like Big Red said, it takes that last hour and a half. That's where the main buildup is. But it's just, in my opinion, it was too slow paced.
Okay.
For a Scorsese film, because to me the pinnacle of Scorsese was The Departed.
Departed's great, man.
And that movie from like the get go, it just takes you and you roll with it.
It's just different stories. It's
You're
a different
right.
thing.
But
Yeah.
again, I mean, you could always tell it's a Scorsese film.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So to me, one of the things that also at the end, I guess, the scene didn't really jive with me. But at the end, it's almost like they're trying to sympathize with him. Oh, well, yeah, he's done all this, but it's almost like there's a sense of sympathy because his daughter won't talk to him or anything.
Which
Right.
you lose.
And I think it's foolish
Right.
of him that at the end, like, the federal agents, they're like,
Right.
oh, well, everybody's dead. Like, you've
Right.
no one to roll on. Like, and I get it, yes, there's a code of honor and everything like
Right.
that, but if you want some absolution, even from your daughter, then just do that one thing.
Yeah.
All right?
But that's not the story they're telling.
Huh?
That's not the story being told. You want them to tell a different story. That's the thing.
You know, you come back and forth on directorial
Yeah.
styles, man, so you know where I
Right.
come from on that.
Okay.
And my score on that would probably be like a 7.
All right. 7. Okay.
All right.
All
That's
right.
not bad.
Surge.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Like everybody else said, probably longer than it needed to be, but
But
it
people
didn't feel
binge.
like it was that long when you watch it.
Right. A little bit.
Should have been a mini series.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I seen that online too. I seen a lot of dudes are showing recommendations for a mini series on it. I mean, it would have been
It
dope
could
as a
work better,
mini
yeah.
series.
Like half
I just don't
hour.
get how you could binge a show. It's like 3 episodes, 3.5 episodes of a show.
I mean, but they
It's like-
could have even did more and added
Yeah.
more. Who knows? But
I don't get the length argument. I think it was perfect.
what's your score on
She
it?
said.
Let's see. I give it like a 7. I mean, what I liked is I like the whole Jimmy did not care. Jimmy was like, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want. If you guys don't like it, too bad. And there was so many times that they were like, dude, you got to chill.
Right.
And they sent the next
Yeah.
guy, dude, you have to chill. And they sent the next guy, dude, this
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah, that shit.
Was that their line? They're like, that's
He's
it.
just like, eh.
This is it.
Off of that larger than life persona,
And it was
man.
crazy
It's perfect
because
for it.
it's like he
Dude.
knew
Yeah.
he knew what it was when he stepped in there because he saw, oh shit, there's no carpet in
Yeah.
this house.
Yeah.
And immediately
He's
turned
like,
around.
He's
Yep.
like, let's turn around. Nope.
Like, no, it's too late.
he always
It's too
2
late now.
shots on it.
Dude.
But from what I was hearing, I know somebody who actually was in the film, and they said that's legit. They spoke to the guy who actually the story's about. They said it's 100% legit.
That's crazy.
So,
all right, well, 7.
shout out to the guy that was in the movie that was also in Few Shots.
Boom. He was also in 2 shots.
There you go.
Where was he at in the movie? Do you?
I never even knew that he was in the movie until after I watched the movie.
Okay.
I was like, holy shit, he was in the
I'm
movie.
curious now.
Yeah, now I got to go back and watch.
Yeah.
So, all right. Honestly, for me, the one scene though that I gotta say that really kind of stuck with me was like when him and Pro had the argument. Which shout out to Pro. Pro was in fucking
Behind Bars.
He was in Snatch. Tommy Gunn. Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking, and he's also in Pirates of the Caribbean as well. There's like 2 newer ones.
I haven't seen those.
That
Yeah, I
were
haven't seen those.
meh. They were mediocre.
Yeah.
But yeah, so him and when they fucking in Miami.
Oh, after they got out.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
where he's like, yo, he wore shorts.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yo,
It was 15 minutes late. You're trying to say one thing.
Right.
That
Fuck
one was
you.
probably all right. Yeah,
That
was
scene
probably the
killed
best
me.
part.
Like I loved it and I hated it because I hated it because I'm like, dude, just fucking give it up. You know, like I get it. Like, yeah, I felt him. I'm like, dude, you're 15 minutes late. You come dressed like a fucking retard, and then just shit. Like, I was like, yo, I feel you, but also I'm like, you just gotta be like, just fuck it, get this over with, and move about your business. You know, like. Right.
Say 12 and a half. 12 and a half.
Right.
De Niro always trying to come in like 12 and a half?
Dude, that whole...
2.5 minutes.
Dude, that shit
That's
was
family
killing
shit,
me,
though, really,
bro.
yeah.
But yeah, so I honestly, though, like, I felt like it was, for me, even though, yes, it's a more detailed thing, it's just another gangster flick that he's done to me. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's another one. Like, just like some people are like, it's
a
another
gangster
Marvel
flick.
movie,
Yeah.
it's another Scorsese
There you go.
movie.
What do you mean Scorsese?
Shots.
Yeah. What was the movie he did before this one?
He did Goodfellas.
Silence.
He did
a movie.
And he did Taxi Driver.
I mean,
That's
Hey,
not a
guess
mob
what?
movie.
not a movie.
No, but
he
it's
did
a Scorsese
Boardwalk
movie.
Empire.
It is a Scorsese.
It's Robert De Niro.
But you said Taxi
being a
Driver, a mob
badass.
movie. It's not a mob movie.
Another one. But no, that's my thing. It's Robert De Niro being a badass. And Robert De Niro
All directors have their actors.
narrating.
He's gonna do. Leonardo
Like-
DiCaprio's coming back for the next one,
Right, but
which is
dude,
But
that's
every
my thing.
director has that. What are you talking about?
And I get that.
Not-
but
I mean,
I
every
don't
director.
like how everybody's like, oh my god, like yo, for me, it's just another Scorsese movie. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Still great. Still good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5. But I'm
Bro, this guy made The Last Waltz. It's like it changed concert films forever.
Yeah.
He's not. He doesn't have a style.
But he has a niche.
I mean, he's best
He
probably
does.
with mobster movies, if you want to say that. But he doesn't. But he excels at other shit too.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
He got
but
Oscars
has
for
a
The
niche.
Last Waltz.
You know.
That's a concert movie.
Well, I mean, it's just like
Last Waltz was right in the middle of all
just
the mob
like
stuff.
any other actor
That was
or
way
anybody. Everybody has their niche. Whether you got your horror actor, your comedy actor, they have their niche. When they step out and they do a good job, that's amazing. But I just hate how he tried to make it seem like, you know,
I'll take 2 Scorsese movies over all of Marvel.
and that's fine, and that's your choice.
Yeah.
I would prefer to take those.
And I do think they're different. I mean, there's some of them that are similar, like Casino, Goodfellas. Like, there's similarities that run. Mean Streets.
Right.
Run with Mean Streets. That was his first movie, and he really never really, he always comes back to Mean Streets.
Right.
I know what you mean, though. It's like, to me, Tim Burton movies are all the same, but Big Fish was the different one. It was completely different.
It was
you
still
know?
him.
Yeah.
But it was
you
different.
could tell it's Tim Burton, but it
Yeah,
didn't feel
exactly.
like it's Tim Burton.
And also because it had what's her name in it, and she's in all his fucking movies.
Well, yeah.
But-
Helena Bottom
Helena Bottom Cotter,
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever her name is.
Thank God he would
Right,
ruin that movie.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna get that one out. I'm gonna get back over to this real quick. So you poured another. What's this one that you just poured?
This one's Catnip Batch 1.
Batch 1.
It's our Cascade Pale Ale. So the Catnip series is going to be all hop-driven beers, or hop-focused beers. They may not necessarily be a Pale Ale or an IPA, but we hooked up with some cool people. Shout out to @FL Fresh Hops, Florida Fresh Hops, Duke and Austin. They're hop farmers out in Odessa right now. They're cooking up some Nugget, Cascade, and Chinook hops. So they kind of hooked me up exclusively, so I'm dealing with them directly. I devoted this whole series of beers that we're going to do and focusing, like I said, on hop-driven beers.
Okay.
This one's 100% Cascade Hop Pale Ale. The next one we're going to drink is going to be the Nugget and Cascade IPA.
This one's tasty.
I like
this one's tasty. I like this
my
one.
favorite.
I'm a fan.
Because you get that slight little bit of caramel in there too from your malts
So,
too. Yeah,
Try to balance it out for sure. Never try and go like ham in one direction. I mean, there's certain beers where we will do that, like the fruited sours I was mentioning. I definitely want you to know that there's fucking mango, there's guava in this beer. You're gonna.
I love that
taste
type of
it.
shit because, like, I'm the sweet type of drink person. Like, I like my ciders, like my sweeter beers and shit like that. Like, this, like, for me, like, I wouldn't normally get this, but it's good.
Appreciate it.
You know,
Appreciate
like
it.
I wouldn't normally, but I'm a fan. The other one too, that shit right there though. Yeah, this vegan cat, I'm so far that's been my favorite so far. I like this one, but I like vegan cat.
Shout out to the boy Joe Rogan. Vegan cat.
All right, so
Hashtag vegan cat.
I do want to ask you another question before we get into the next review. So is there, like, I know you got all these other ones that you're thinking of doing and all this, but is there one specific that you either have done or you're ready to just, I want to, there's this idea, this flavor, like, what is that? What is that?
So there's one in particular for sure that, you know, again, when we sought out, we wanted to be a little bit different. I wanted to make a beer that I knew nobody else was already doing. It didn't really matter the style per se, but I just wanted to make a beer that, one, shout out to Tampa, two, nobody else around here was doing. Fonta Flora out of North Carolina. These dudes do these beers called Voss beers. They're a Russian-style beer made with leftover stale rye bread, pumpernickel breads, and stuff like that. So Fonta Flora started doing it. They mimic the style. They keep it low ABV to like exactly to style. Ours is a little bit different. We throw a Florida twist on it. Cuban bread.
Oh, nice.
So
I knew that's where he was going with that. Nice.
So I do a combination of Cuban bread, local Florida honey, and cane sugar.
Okay.
And a little bit of Pilsner malt to kind of balance everything out and bring the beer to life. Obviously, without the Pilsner, I wouldn't have enough sugars and such starches to do the fermentables. The honey boosts up a lot of the ABV for me, so does the sugar. But you definitely get the Cuban bread taste on there. It's a real light, refreshing, very crisp beer. I don't, like I was saying earlier, I want to hammer out as many different beers as I can, close into the styles that we're doing. Quality first, though. But I do definitely want to pump out as many beers as I can. But with that saying, as far as flagships, that's something that we're trying to avoid as well. But Tostada will be probably a beer that we keep around for a while. It's gotten us a lot of rave reviews. We were out in Lakeland for the Hospice Brew Fest. We won Best of Show out there. A lot of big competition was out there.
Round of applause for that.
Oh, you got a sound? Oh, I thought a ball was going to drop. I don't hear it. My bad. I was waiting for it.
He was in his phone for a second there. He was locked in. Who are you locked in on there, sir? Huh? What you doing?
Why are you worried about me?
Midget porn.
Definitely. But yeah.
But shout out to Lazy Cody. Trade and barter cider and meads. You're talking about ciders. Meads. Homeboy out in Plant City area. He's about to open up out there, hopefully in the next couple of years as well.
Nice.
He's pumping out of a shed out there in Plant City right now, but he's a beekeeper too.
So he's the one real legit honey.
Yes. So he's the one that's hooking me up with the fresh raw honey. Shout out to him big time because honey is expensive. And then the Cuban bread, it is coming from my people out in West Tampa. I'm going to butcher their names. So I'm going to go to one of my Spanish homeboys, the Golden Rooster.
El Gallo Dorado.
Ah, yeah.
There you go.
Right there. I'm the whitest Puerto Rican you'll ever meet in your life. But those homies hooked me up with the stale Cuban bread that I need to make the beer. Shout out to Jaleesa and Chris out there. Good people. Slamming food. Get the Ebor special.
Nice.
Fried eggs.
So many
rice.
plugs. You're like a plug machine. It's fucking great. It's great.
Yeah, I love
that sounded horrible.
I just gotta give. I gotta give back.
No, I love it, dude. I love it. I'm actually really.
yeah, you gotta support local. I love it.
I gotta support local.
Hell yeah,
that's what it's all about.
I hope y'all like taking notes here because he's dropping knowledge. He's dropping like information and people you should check out. You should, and you can replay this
And just give back.
you know, and do that.
Yes.
Give
Pay
back.
it forward. All right. Next review we're gonna do. Mr. Aruba actually recommended this one. Yeah, so we're go ahead and this mic, if you could unravel it, and just let him, or if you want to come over, however you want to do it.
Yeah, just sit right pull up a chair.
Yeah, you can pull up a chair. You can pull up a chair
right next to him.
Here, can this come on?
Yeah, there you go.
No, so you take it off the thing anyway.
Where's the camera at?
You got a
Yeah. Right here.
I know. I'm like, come over here. Get now.
You look like you're about to do one of yourself.
Fifth, brother.
Chair.
Oh, shit. Is that what these are?
Aruba, you know you're a wreck right now.
Gosh.
Shit, me, man.
Apparently,
What is this, IKEA?
Yeah, man, it's called a studio.
Oh, man.
We're official here. We got chairs.
I know.
It's got to give it a fancy Swedish name.
Right? So you recommended Airplane.
I did.
So you're gonna start this off how we do here.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead.
it's one of my favorite comedies from I remember seeing this when I was, I don't know, probably 8, 9 years old. The cover looked really weird to me. I'm like, all right, let's give it a try. I found it hilarious then. I find it hilarious now.
Yes.
It has one of the best comedians that I've ever seen in the game.
Leslie Nielsen. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. He's hilarious. There are just the liners in there. It was just it's nonstop, just zingers, and it is what it is. It's not like highbrow comedy, but it's just it's that lowbrow, but it just gets you every time, and it's one of my favorites.
All right. So, what's your scene? What's your memorable or best
scene? When he has a drinking problem, I think it always gets me.
Yes.
All through the movie, he just has that drinking problem, and he just like pours it on himself.
The subtlety of how they introduced the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part that makes that so
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
It's because they just live, and then I developed a drinking problem.
and then has the dramatic music in the background too.
And it's fucking fake. Yo, it's the best.
And the fact that he does it throughout the movie,
And-
too.
and-
You know,
and-
it's a
and
running
it's
joke
just
the
like a-
entire
yeah,
Just
movie.
be on the plane sitting down, and all of a sudden he's,
So deadpan, too.
Another running joke that they had there was when it's like this is a bad week to quit smoking.
Yeah,
and then he progressively gets like
the sniffing.
his vices
That
just
did it. Quit
yeah.
taking methamphetamines.
Fucking
But
hilarious.
I think those two are one of my favorite. Running jokes and throughout the movie is one of those.
So, being that it is an older movie,
Yep.
we always do that with the throwbacks. Does it still hold up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yes.
so. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it does. I think it does. I think it gets the job done.
Right.
I think.
what do you really mean?
I know. Shit, you guys are videotaping.
That's right.
No. Seriously, I think it still holds up. I think I'll watch it, having a few beers, just in the background, just kind of catch you. You can come into any part of that movie and laugh, and I think that's that's what I like about it.
All right. And what's your score?
Comedy. So I'm gonna give it on a comedy scale because based on everything else.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5.
Okay.
8.5 comedy for still holding up from back then and still holding up till these days. Yeah, till today. Yeah, I think 8.5.
Surely you're not serious.
Surely not. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Fucking sucks, dude. All right, so Chuck, since you're right there,
You're next in proximity.
Shit, man. Since you're right next door.
that's how you pass it.
I'm a fan of the Zucker brothers in general. I don't know if you guys have seen Kentucky Fried Movie. That's also fantastic. Same guys.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, let's go.
It's welcome.
Let's get it real. Let's get it
A
real
different
now.
type of show.
That is verbal consent. To let you know.
Sir, play some midget porn, would you?
So you're not going to meet Tootie later, right?
Oh shit.
So
Yeah.
I think that style of comedy, I just love the deadpan, serious jokes, the quick one-liners. Like if you're not paying attention to the dialogue, you're gonna miss half the movie, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in one of the opening scenes where they're getting to the drop-off point, and Bob and whatever her name is are talking over the intercom. It's like no parking in the white lane, no
This
parking,
starts off
parking in
with
the
a
red
bang.
lane. Back and forth. Don't start with your shit, Karen, or whatever her name is. The whole scene's hilarious.
Something about an abortion, bro.
It got me every time.
But if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
Right.
That's the best part. You know.
Dude, subtitles are great for that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't never watch the subtitle.
Scientology reference early.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have called.
Damn, I was like gonna. Yeah,
You were gonna say that?
yeah, that
I
shit
thought
caught me
that's
off
kind of
guard
bad
as
thing, by the
fuck.
way.
We can get to
What's
it.
up?
When he's walking through the airport lobby
In the beginning?
anytime anybody's walking through there, they get approached by like so many different cults and like
Right.
religions and stuff. I mean, honestly, I wasn't alive, obviously. So
Right.
was that like a problem at the time, where like a lot of cults and
the Hare Krishna, they
Keep
would,
doing it, man.
they would just like show up at airports and they would try to like recruit
wants to
you
fuck
to
some.
the cult back in the day.
oh, gotcha.
That's what it was. That's why like you see them two-pieced motherfuckers when they get out to the circle.
Okay,
Bro,
so
it's like an all-out fight scene when
When
what's the guy's name?
The dude from Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, what's his name?
oh yes, that whole scene was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, and I'm pissed at myself. But yeah, like when
John
he goes through, he's like
John
spinning on
something?
people's
Can't remember his
backs,
name.
man. Stack,
Yes.
man, Dax.
I think it's something
Stacks in there. Whatever.
But yeah.
But yeah,
So, your scene. Was it the overcoms or was it?
My favorite scene is probably when they're about to take off, and the whole dialogue between them is so
Yeah.
fucking funny to me. It stands up so well.
The Roger,
It's
Roger.
like, what's your Roger? Roger.
What's your vector, Roger?
Or what's your vector?
Victor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Something was it? Something? Do I have Clarence?
Well, and
Clarence. Or,
that was like a more modern,
clearance,
like
Clarence.
who's on first situation.
it is, but
You know?
it's so deadpan too.
Yeah, that's why I love
It's-
it.
Yeah, I love that because
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen is really good at that too, and that's what he was known for.
Yeah.
you know, so I like that comedy.
Okay.
But that whole scene gets me every time.
All right. And what's your score for that?
I do want to say before that, I both think it holds up and does not hold up at the same time. Only because it does speak about things that were going on, like the cults, which obviously is not a big problem like it is now, at least not in the mainstream.
Right.
So obviously there's things like that. There's the racism that was a little more acceptable at the time. I don't want to use the word acceptable, but it was a little more
Right.
like that was a poor choice of words. I'm sorry. Let me take that back.
This is just a dash.
No, it was acceptable back then.
But I mean, like it was more.
I thought the movie was very good about being equally making
Yeah.
fun of everything.
Exactly.
You know?
But I don't think it would fly today.
Right.
And
No,
that's-
hell no.
No, it wouldn't.
The
Same
movie
thing with Mel
itself
Brooks,
would
it
not
wouldn't
fly.
Pun intended.
Hey, you're the only one that's truly white here. I'm actually Hispanic, so fuck you.
I'm just saying that was a great pun, man. That could have been on the poster.
But the other comedy behind
Airplane
it does stand up.
flies.
The one-liners, the vaudeville stuff, the deadpan, that stuff still holds up. So it does, but it doesn't. It's like a lot of younger people get pretty offended by it, I think, for the most part.
Would they go to their safe spaces and cry?
Probably.
That's a shame.
Oh, and score? I'm going to go on the comedy scale because, like, you can't rate comedies this high. It's different.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's what we were talking about. It's what did the movie try to do? That's how I rate it.
I don't
Right,
wanna-
right, right.
you
Like the
can't put it on
movie was
rating
going
scale.
for what it was going for, and it
Exactly.
did a good
So we're
job.
talking about horror.
Horror movies? You watch pornography, Matt?
His eyes lit up. Like, wait, what? Did we say horror?
I thought he said horror actors. I was like,
Oh my God!
I will say,
say,
since you guys have never seen Kentucky Fried Movie, I'm not going to recommend it, but you guys should watch it regardless because there's one scene in particular that is
that a
very
recommendation?
racist. It would not fly today.
That's amazing.
Red's going to fucking die when he sees it, but you all will.
Fucking
It's
great.
really good. Overall score, though, comedy scale, 8.6, just because
Okay.
for the time I think it was hilarious. And it still holds up.
Nice. All right. Red.
Do you score?
Airplane.
Yeah, but like, what do you?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm kind of getting so involved, dude. So like, I love it. I
Scene.
think it's still.
Yeah.
I think it still holds up.
Right.
Like, I think it's.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm really good about watching movies in context. About like came out at this time, whatever.
Right.
Airplane changed so much, man.
Right.
Like spoof movies, period. You know, like is it spoof? Like it starts off with a Jaws reference, like immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
I forgot all about that, by the way.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I mean, it's.
Once again,
I honestly,
Of
I
the
don't think,
times,
I don't
too.
think you would have things like Family or what's it called, Family Guy and things like that, because they, same thing. They take Adam West the way they took all these serious actors. Like Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor before this movie,
Right.
and then he did this, and then Naked Gun. Yeah.
Naked Gun. Yeah.
And like,
That's one of my
then,
favorites.
now everybody knows him as like a comedy guy. But
got a
like,
nice beaver.
what the fuck?
Thank you. It just had it shaved. Just had it stuffed.
you got attention immediately. Beaver?
Anyway,
That's how you get it. Pores and beavers. This guy right here.
Fucking midget porn and beavers.
That should be a good name for a beer, man.
Right?
Poison beef.
Hey, we got.
So
I follow midget porn actresses on Instagram, by the way. It's the best follows you'll ever get. Oh, you ever follow midget porn stars on Instagram. It's the best. Like you'll be smiling.
Fritz corn.
This is a very weird hill for you to die on, man. Like,
I'm not dying on a hill. It's amazing. Like,
Are you trying to build?
have y'all even tried it? No.
So are you trying to build Burr yourself?
You're defending it, man. You're defending this.
I'll defend it till I die, man. Like,
right. Something has to happen. So,
bro, it's amazing. All right. Dude, like the stuff they post is like so like what is going on? Like the world's fascinating. There's so many different types of people. I gotta follow midget porn stars. I just
Goodness gracious.
they're living their best lives.
That's
Let's
why I
put it that
love
way.
you, man. That's why I fucking love you.
What's your
It's
secret?
not even about the sex stuff. I'm just like, damn, man. Like these fucking they're
Look at them living their life. Oh, they do the same thing we do.
Climb up there.
they're like us but smaller.
Oh my god.
No, it's not that. It's just
Lord.
This is like I mean, these are people unabashedly just living their lives, man. And I'm like, I'm all about that. I want to follow that.
All I'm saying, I'm just gonna sit this one out. This
Right?
is all him.
This is all,
I'm trying to give y'all tips.
the views and opinions brought to you by Big Red are not all reflected
So
on
yeah.
everybody else.
There's gotta be a disclaimer, right?
Ignorant Ale's stock goes.
Get that Tesla effect.
Right? So,
All right, name a beer after midget porn star for me, please. Okay,
I'm gonna have to go to you for the
name a midget porn star.
can you name one?
No, I can't honestly. But
Oh my god.
dude, you know what it was? Here's how it started. So I was on Instagram, and this girl like she did an angle where it didn't even look like she was a midget, and like I liked it, and I liked.
Let him
go.
Can I? Proper vernacular, by the way.
What's not?
No, I don't know, but it's.
Are you really gonna make me say little person porn star? Are we living in this fucking world?
Coming soon. Coming soon.
It's a midget, man.
Coming soon. Little
It's a
people.
midget
big
porn star. Like, what the fuck?
I'm getting Reddit ignorant.
I refuse. Okay, little people porn stars.
Oh lord.
That sounds fantastic.
That sounds like a TLC show.
It does.
Is it a TLC show?
Little people, big porn. So,
TLC show watch.
so I liked it, and then I started scrolling. I'm like, 'cause you can see the pictures, or whatever. I'm like, oh, she's a midget. That's awesome. So I follow her, and then you know how like pops up after that? I'd be like, if you like this, follow.
Try this one.
Non-stop midget porn stars. I'm like,
so let me
follow,
ask you
follow,
then.
follow.
What went through your head when you saw that? It's like, oh, I should follow 10 more of these people.
Because when I was
You have to have two of them to add to one.
these people.
Now that's a fetish.
It depends on.
I'm offended.
Now it's a fetish.
He said these people.
These people. What do you mean by that, bro?
What do you mean?
Whoa.
I love their stuff. I literally heart their shit. So, anyways.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Anyways,
Category
So,
right there.
so I'm just following.
That is a
I'm just
whole
following.
side of you I don't
Deep inside.
need to know about anymore. I'm good. I'm good.
I literally.
I'm good.
There's literally.
Yeah.
There's literally zero.
I'm gonna need you to give me a score now. I'm gonna need you to give me a score.
So airplane, I really like how it's like breakneck jokes.
Online now? No, I'm just kidding.
I really like that the jokes.
sorry,
the jokes come
everyone.
at you with. I'm trying to give a review here.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Is that what we're doing?
Oh shit.
I like that the jokes. I mean, they're coming at you like every 20 seconds you get a
Right.
joke, and it's like you might, even if it's not funny, like you might get a joke that's like that was kind of lame, but you know within 10, 20 seconds they're gonna try to throw another one at you.
Right.
It's like throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks, kind of thing. But man, I think it's like 2/3 of the time it hits, man.
Yeah.
So I give it. And for what they're trying to go for, it was a first of its kind. It changed everything. I don't think there'd be like a Family Guy or anything like that
No.
without it. So I give it for that reason.
There wouldn't be a hot shot.
I know I'm the high score giver, you know,
Right.
but I'll do a 9.8.
9.8.
It's a classic, man.
Holy shit!
It's a classic.
For
Now, if
that.
you're talking in terms
Well,
of
yeah,
like
no,
today watching
I'm
it,
okay with it.
cynical and like
Yeah.
and then I probably I don't know 7.
I
Well,
agree with Chuck. Like, I think there'd be a lot of people who would be a little offended by some of the jokes that they
absolutely.
had.
That too.
You know, like,
Well, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that just got really offended.
If you
pretty sure they're on this show right now and they're writing letters.
if you don't think the jive scene is hilarious when that white lady comes up, the white lady comes up.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. I speak jive.
Right. Excuse me. Yeah, that
dude.
she nailed that shit.
She did.
So, all right, Jofer, I need you to throw me a scene. Oh, yeah?
Say, Bobby wants to know what your search history looks like.
Screen cap is
disturbing.
Oh god,
And then
I'm
he
sure
also
he
You got to
does.
put a warning sign on there.
That this show gets better when it get off topic, which I agree. I think
And that's what I said.
That's Bobby. That's
I'm
Bobby's.
stuck over here behind the board.
That's been Bobby's hill to die on. Like,
Right.
like as we said.
That's
Bobby. Bobby's like always like, go off topic, but that Walmart shit was hilarious.
yeah, but not 25 minutes.
No, I know. I get.
Fucking Walmart.
You
Trust
should
me,
do
I
one
argued your
episode a
point.
month called Off Topic.
Yeah,
Random
or
shit.
we just
Or-
Red's corner.
We can do blood sessions.
And we see how well that's going.
Yeah, well, they can come in. They can go
Shout out to Jesse.
cross
He
promo.
says that the hour and 50-minute mark is one of the best parts. I'm pretty sure that's probably the little people porn talk.
Nice.
You're really gonna say that?
I'm not sure.
He's reading the comments. He's a
Little
comment
people
guy.
porn star. Okay.
Hey, he's being politically correct.
I'm being hey,
So silly.
a career to look up.
Yeah.
I get.
I mean, you saw that dude that got canned from SNL for throwing that problematic shit.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
I'm looking up my
His
future,
stock
bro.
is still on the
You
rise.
don't need SNL nowadays. SNL
That's
is
also
bullshit
true.
nowadays.
But yeah, what's your scene, Joe?
All right, definitely my favorite scene was the jive scene.
Okay.
That I think
Yeah.
that one hits, bro, because you see this little white old lady, like, and she just throws it out, dude, and it was on point.
He says shit and it says shucks or some shit. What
Yeah,
did it say? No, it didn't say shucks. It was
Because didn't they have it subtitled?
yeah, they had it like subtitles.
Wasn't it
Yeah, that's the whole
subtitled?
point.
Can you get Chuck?
Can I get you? Oh, he's outside?
Yeah.
Oh golly, it's
You
golly.
mean they actually locked the door?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Is
That's
Chuck
my
okay?
man's in them. You get a DMX for that, brother.
All right.
That's my
Yeah,
man.
the
All right,
jive,
and
the
then-
jive scene.
Hey, you
Does
feel
it
good?
still hold up? Because it is a throwback.
So let's think about one thing here. Me and Red actually watched this movie years ago, and what was crazy about it is that it was rated PG.
Yeah,
back then.
true.
And they got titties.
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
bro. And then there is one point where there's like everybody's freaking out in the airplane, and there's just literally
Yeah, when there's
one
just
that
boobs.
just shows her titties, and she's bouncing out her titties
For no reason.
Like,
Random.
Random.
That's it. And
Just
I was
literally,
wow. This
Pause
is what
that,
guys
rewind
did
it.
Back then, like this is literally.
Different times.
You're right. No,
Very.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Will it hold up now? With a certain demographic, yes, it would.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But with cancel culture and everything like that, this
True
it
story.
probably wouldn't make it past that. It still holds up. It's
Okay.
a classic. I'm gonna dig a little deeper on this because on a softer edge, then you think about shows like the Animaniacs. The Animaniacs to me
True.
was like that whole like that parody and
Yeah.
like those tongue-in-cheek ones, like because you read the writing
Mm-hmm.
on an airplane and then you go back and you watch certain episodes of the Animaniacs. Now that you're older, you're like, wow, they really got away with that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like-
Prince one.
Yeah, the fingerprints. Yeah,
Fingerprints.
What is the
Exactly
joke?
what I was
So-
thinking about.
so
the
the
fingerprints.
joke is- so
Yes.
what it is that it says,
Can they hear Jofer?
Yeah, they can hear him.
Okay.
bro, I'm loud as fuck sometimes.
I know, but I'm just like,
You got to
So
be.
what it is that
Nah.
in Animaniacs, they're
Yeah,
they
dusting
go,
for you got dust for Prince.
yeah, dust for prints or find fingerprints or something like that.
Yeah.
So then Doc comes up and grabs. She actually goes and finds prints. He goes, no, find fingerprints, and then they go, oh wow, good night everybody, and then that's how they shut that.
wow.
And then
I didn't know that.
Bro, but
Oh,
like,
yeah,
for kids,
Animaniacs
they're
was
like,
Yeah, 'cause we didn't
oh,
catch
that was
it.
funny.
Yeah.
You go back, you're like,
When you're kids, you're not catching that.
When you're
Exactly.
kids, you're just like, oh, Prince, huh?
yeah. So, and that's part of like the legacy that Airplane left behind. Now, the other thing is that everybody forgets the air traffic controller. I think his name was Lloyd Bridges.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was on Hot Shots Part 2, Hard Shots Part 1. Bro, he was funny as shit too.
Did you say hard shots? 'Cause I think that's a different
Hot
movie,
Shots.
bro.
Hot
That's
Shots.
a different movie you're saying.
Hard
I think it
shot.
stars little
Shots Part
people,
1
porn
and
stars.
2.
Right.
For the whore actor.
You're hanging on Red too much.
But
So-
yeah, so that it holds up to that end, and there is a legacy behind it.
true story. Very true story. So what are you giving it? What's your
rating.
score?
I would give it a 8.5.
8.5. All
Nice.
right.
Comedy scale.
By the way, did you guys know that Lloyd Bridges is the father of Bo and
Yes.
what's his name? Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
No, that's news to me.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
How did you? No.
No. The more you know.
No, it's got the same fucking last name. It's not like it's fucking the other guy from. It's not like it's what's his name, the guy from.
So I
Mighty
guess we're
Ducks.
just automatically related to fucking Carlos Santana. Got it.
No,
Really good.
but I'm saying it's like my guy from Mighty Ducks. What's his name?
See,
Emilio Estevez.
I swear to God.
Why is he the only one that changed his last name though?
Because
he wanted to be.
He's like Nicolas Cage. He wanted to be his own entity without
His
using
own
the name.
entity.
You know. Well, you say that because I say that because
Damn.
Nicolas Cage can survive as a Coppola. You know, he would
Right.
survive no problem with
yeah.
just the name. So he wants to be his own persona.
Right.
You
True
know.
story. All right, Matt.
Yep.
Airplane. What?
No, I skipped that one.
Oh, you skipped
That's
that
the
one?
only
Okay.
one I missed.
All right,
In
cool.
episode 10.
But you've seen it, though.
Yeah, but like I was probably 8. Though. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, you haven't either.
I didn't rewatch it. I haven't seen it.
It's a
since I was
shame though
like
the
10.
movie came up and we didn't discuss the scene where
Well, I haven't.
go.
Yeah, I haven't gone.
where the
yet.
girl and the kid are sitting next to each other.
there's a better scene I just remembered.
It's
Yeah.
probably the same scene. I want to know, but we'll talk about
Well, let's see. Let's
Coffee?
see.
I know.
Coffee?
Huh?
What?
Coffee?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the panic.
So for
Oh
me,
yeah, I like my coffee.
yeah. So what they're talking about,
kid's face.
if you haven't seen it,
That would be your daughter. That would be your daughter, if
Yeah.
anything. That would be your daughter.
dude. They
I
had
mean, like
these
the smart ass, you know.
two kids,
Insulting thing I've ever
and he had the one kid's like, "Hey, do you want some coffee?" And there's kids.
But they're like grown adults. Though.
Yeah, but they're dressed up.
Right.
And shit.
The kid's
Like,
wearing a suit.
Yeah.
You know.
He had the
She's dressed like a business
And this girl,
casual.
she had to be like 10. She was
Right.
like, I like my coffee black, like I
Shut
like
that
my
kid
men.
down.
I was like, because I haven't seen this
He
shit
goes,
in a while.
"Would you like some cream?"
Yeah,
No, thanks.
yeah.
I like my coffee black. And then there's a pause,
Yeah.
and she's like,
And,
like
and the
my
thing
men.
is, like, yeah, and I wasn't even
and then it
thinking
cuts,
about it
and then
at
it cuts
first.
to the boy, and the boy's like,
Yeah,
What's Bobby saying right now?
Bobby is watching his.
yeah. I did not like realize that like at the beginning of it all.
Porn movies. Bobby, of course.
Oh, is he trapped in the midget porn world now?
He is. He's
Way to go.
We had him at porn. That's it.
for the next episode. For the next episode, we do 4 little people porn movies.
No,
I'm going to veto that now.
Can we though?
yeah, we're vetoing that shit
Please?
right now.
Now here's the question though:
No.
are they both have to be little people, or can it just be a little person?
It's not happening.
These are the questions nobody wants to know. Because that drastically closes up what I want to do. It can only be 2 little people.
I don't think so.
Be one.
All right, so we got this third.
I hate you.
We got this third bottle here.
Oh my god.
Catnip.
That's it.
That's too.
Bad
Shut
shoe.
it down.
Shutting it down.
Feds are coming in.
We gotta shout out this beer.
Tell us about this beer, man.
Cascade and Nugget hops, again from the dudes out in Odessa, Florida Fresh Hops. Just a second rendition of this one. It's just a straightforward IPA, real clean, refreshing.
There you go. Thank you.
Sorry, I gotta repeat all that. You good?
No,
You
yeah,
good?
no, go ahead.
Pick
All right.
Picks up, Joe.
Yeah, so those dudes are definitely looking out on the hops. We got some more coming in. It's my duty to try and write up some recipes real quick now and to continue the legacy of this line. They do hop tours at their facility too sometimes. Brew out over in Citrus Park area, over by Sickles. They're a little small tap room, tasting room, really good people, Christian and Jill out there. They also take some of their customers out and they do tours of the hop farm. The guys over there at Florida Fresh have some of our beers at their facility too on the farm. So you go out there, you do the tour, they'll pop a couple bottles with you as well too.
Nice. That sounds like a fucking great time.
Again, we just keep on plugging up the locals.
Yeah,
too,
I saw that.
so
Like,
it's all collaborations.
the plug king.
Yeah, like
yeah.
to me, you know, let's we're never looking for anything in return. Nothing monetary, nothing like that. We want to get out there, like I said, and mix it up with the community. Keep it community driven. Try and spread the love as much as possible. So, you know, we're stronger in numbers as a community for sure. And we got to look out for our community because if we don't, nobody else is. I believe in that. I got kids, and it means a lot to us. I don't know a few of you guys at the table have kids too, so it means a lot for me to be able to do stuff like that. We got a little league soccer team that we're going to be sponsoring next year.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Head coaching over out on Plantation Soccer League. You guys want to check us out on Saturday mornings? My son is on. Yeah, Lucky's my striker. Number 9. Shout out.
Do you get the naming rights to the team?
Well, yeah, they let me name him. So I mean, you guys trying to do a sponsorship too? Talk about my people out in Plant City.
That would be pretty hard.
I would go for something as vulgar as possible.
Yeah, we can't
just
do
pray
that.
Pray they win the championship.
That's what I was doing, bro. We didn't sponsor him the first year. We just called him the Wildcats, but we're going to sponsor him the next year and put the logo on it and everything. That starts out in January. So
that's dope.
Giving back out
awesome.
to the community.
That's
again,
awesome. So. That's real dope.
Call my team the Soft Cocks.
Oh my God.
That's not intimidating, man. Not at all.
Don't go to Plantation Youth Soccer League, please.
Right. I have no idea who this guy is.
This year's championship.
Your team's not allowed to play this year.
Right. Whatever. We're going to have to.
I got disqualified already.
Goodness fuck.
I do want to say that this IPA is really good, by the way. It's very balanced with the malts and the hops. It's not too one way or the other. It's really good.
I mean, and that's definitely something that I'm trying to hone in and I'm trying to stick to. No gimmicks, man. Less is more, in my opinion. I'm just trying to focus in. No gimmicks. I'm gonna butcher this shit. I should know it by heart, but like our motto is small batch beers brewed with respect for styles and traditions of the past, ignorant enough to avoid trends and shortcuts of the future.
Nice.
Damn.
I like that a lot.
That is deep.
Nice.
The waters run deep.
Nice. So, all right. Chuck knows his shit about all this. So, do you have a question that you want to ask him before we get into the next review?
Actually, I did just now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, you no question?
Nothing on the top of my head. Well, you put me on the spot. No, I mean,
I got one for him.
I'm sure I'll
got
come up with
one?
one later.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, shoot. I'm ready. I'm ready.
What are your thoughts on iambics, man? I'd be curious to see if you could throw an iambic out there with like some fruit.
Like a lambic?
Lambics. See,
Lambic, sorry.
like
And I know it might not be your forte, so.
No. Shit. If I would have known there was lambic drinkers here, I mean, me and my wife love lambics. One of my cats at the house name is Cantillon. We call her Cantillon. So, but Red's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about right now? So, Belgium traditional wild sour beers, lambics, made out in Brussels. To really pull off a lambic beer, you would kind of need, like, for me, it's just a little too elaborate. There's too much history there. That's one thing I won't try and touch with the setup that we're trying to do.
All right, I'll give you that.
There's going to be things that we may do that are lambic-esque, but just like we put on our kettle sours that they're kettle sours, I want people to know that they're not a true wild sour beer, or they're not a mixed fermentation sour beer. So anytime you see me put kettle sour on my beer, that means I kettle soured it. I did not use mixed fermentation. I did not age the beer 6 to 12 months, 24 months. I didn't put in that legwork that a lot of brewers do. So as respect to the brewers and the homies out there, I don't put that on my beer. Gotcha. I put kettle sour beer. What that does is I'm throwing bacteria into beers, lactobacillus. Sometimes we use Good Belly. Sometimes we'll go to the supply store and actually get a yeast strand to use. But we sour out the beer overnight. We jack up the temperature to like 100 degrees. We pitch the lacto in there. The bugs go to work. They drop the pH in the beer down to like 3.2. Gives it a nice little tart bite in the back of your mouth. Then we flip the beer again and we boil it off to get that bacteria out of there. And then you go in your traditional modes of brewing a beer like you normally would. We ferment out, dry hop if we're going to dry hop, spike it with a bunch of fruits at the end of fermentation, and keg that thing up and bottle it. So,
Nice.
The mango guava one we're about to put in bottles here soon. We've been kegging that beer a lot recently, but I've been getting a lot of pushes to get the bottles out there to you guys. So a lot of our stuff now going forward is going to be like half the batch is going to be keg, half the batch will be bottled. So
okay.
If you're offering something lambic as, man, let me know.
For sure. I want you to try some of the kettle sours. I mean, they're definitely nowhere near that, but
whatever you want to ever bring by here, by all means, we'll take.
Oh, we're gonna link up. We're gonna link up about that cooler for real.
Yeah,
either a cooler, or a keg, or something. You guys throw a
dope.
kegerator in here. We'll keep a keg in. We'll figure something out.
Nice. All right, I do have a question, by the way. That reminded me.
Okay.
you ever think about making like a good coffee stout?
Oh, I did so I don't like doing stouts too often.
Always.
But I did 2 coffee porters. I like porters a lot, so you'll see a lot more coffee porters.
Okay, yeah.
We do late edition whole coffee beans. So the last one I did, I went out to Hotbox. We were in North Carolina. I picked up some of the Hotbox coffee that they roast out west. Okay. We brought that back with us, and we put that in like late edition into the boil. So like right at flame out, I dropped in like I think it was 6 ounces of whole coffee beans. So you don't get all the astringency of the coffee because it's at the end, the very end of the boil when we took the heat off, but it's enough to extract the oils from the coffee beans and add the flavor into it, like I said, without the bitterness and the astringency.
Oh, nice. So you ever think about trying to reach out to like a local coffee maker? Because what do we have, like Buddies, I think? Or
yeah,
Joffrey's?
The only thing with that is a lot of dudes are already using those local ones, so
yeah,
sometimes I'm a big coffee head myself, so I'll try and get some coffee. I mean, I'm gonna be greedy about it and get some coffee I like myself, so I have some extra too.
That's
So
perfectly fair. I get that. Yeah.
You know,
Nice,
and maybe
man.
spread it out like you guys call me Plug King. So.
There you go.
Like, I just keep on, trying to find new
plug
stuff
away.
and
Brilliant.
there's so much stuff out there. It's just like music, and to me, music, beer, food. There's so many good things out there. You got to get out there and try and try as much as you can. So
Fucking
cheers to
live
that, dude.
Oh yeah. All right. So the next review we got on deck right here is going to be Lawless.
yes,
Yeah. Fucking Lawless
yo,
is
hyped on Lawless.
based on a true story, or at least true events for the bootleggers, the Boudrons. And what, West Virginia, right?
No, Virginia.
No, they were
Virginia,
in Virginia,
just Virginia?
Franklin. I think
Okay,
it was just
Franklin.
It's the
right?
wettest county, they call
Yep.
it. It was based on a book. Yeah, they couldn't call Hey, they
Red
literally
would know that.
They,
Let her go.
oh my fucking god!
Y'all the ones with
Strap in on this one. You're getting ready, yeah.
I'm super
Here it is,
progressive,
Mike.
okay? I follow Little People porn star. Anyways,
It's the subtitle for this episode.
anyways, it's called the wettest county because the most midget porn. I mean, damn it, stuck. No, I mean,
Spinning time.
it's because it was the county for bootlegging, right? Isn't that what it was called? Like they had the best distilleries.
Yeah, they had the
and everything?
most distilleries popping
Yeah.
off at one time back in
Yeah.
the mountains
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
So they would in the mountains. Well, they showed that in the movie. In the mountains, they
Yeah, all the lanterns and shit. It looked
Yeah.
like it was the
Bring it
Yeah,
lanterns.
into
and
the
that's
town.
that was like, I love that shot coming in at the opening where you could see the little different fires
Yes.
going off, and like that shit just kind of put it in perspective. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of motherfuckers doing this shit.
Yep.
And if you cool with the local fucking sheriffs, you
Yeah.
just give them their little
Give 'em their
case,
cut.
and
Yeah.
they get their little bit. So I recommended it specifically because we was gonna have a guest and bring in some beverages that was brewed.
Technically some bootleg shit, right?
Right, exactly. So you can actually start it since you are the guest, and this was specifically because tying it all together. How you do shows.
So I slept on the movie to begin with.
Okay.
Homegirl at the office was like, "Yeah, I got that movie. I'll let you borrow it." Cool. I didn't expect anything of it. Probably my favorite thing that we watched in this whole thing. I personally think it shits on The Irishman.
Oh,
They're so different.
It is so different, but
That's like being like, it's way better than Airplane. Like,
no, and it is. It is too. Nah, Bebop is better than Airplane. But we'll get back to that.
Dude, this is an eclectic group of movies we're reviewing.
Yeah, you went from like apples to
they're
oranges
very
to grapes,
different, bro.
and now there's
Like,
kiwis.
Oh, I know. We're all good.
that's the best part about
But
it.
it ain't better than Irishman. I'll say that. It ain't better than Irishman.
So, like, going into it not expecting shit from the movie, I was blown the fuck away when they split Homeboy's neck.
Oh, dude.
Like, it was an instant, what the fuck just
The way he
happened?
grabs it, you're like, oh no.
I had to put my beer down and shit. I had to walk away for a second.
Now
I
I'm gonna
came back, I
watch
sat
it.
down.
Now
I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
watch you. Have me at next
oh,
split.
shit.
Yeah, dude. Tom fucking Hardy.
No, because they set the dude up like he's a badass through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Tom
like,
fucking Hardy, bro.
Tom Hardy fucking
I was
killed
like,
it.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. And then the girl fucking killed it too. When I mean, it was kind of cheesy when she got, whatever.
Right.
But she sold her role really good.
You could say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old movie, right?
Midget porn?
No, she got raped.
She got raped.
Yeah. I didn't know if any, I'm
Yeah,
spoiler
it's
alert,
2000.
We've already.
It's an old ass movie.
Rape doesn't
already
exist or
admitted
something?
Yeah, I've seen it by now, which is us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she got raped or whatever. It was kind of cheesy in that area going into that segue into the next portion.
Cheesy is the right word.
Her getting raped was really cheesy.
Real cheesy.
He's like, I could have did without the
I could have done without the rape scene. Like the way they cut in and out of it, though. It was just like,
okay.
I mean, it was an effective scene, though.
They didn't put any midgets in there. I was like, where's the midgets?
It's implied. They don't show any rape.
Yeah, they don't show any rape.
Wait,
But it's a horribly implied rape scene.
Yeah, they like come on. She's like,
What is the politically correct term?
It's a struggle snuggle.
Oh my God!
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm woke.
Let's go. Is there anybody else that wants to say some shit to get this?
I do. I'm not even coming out as the worst.
Not touching this at all.
Wow. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
We have a new champion.
All right, well,
Thank you, guys.
thanks for coming. Thank y'all for tuning in.
The struggle snuggle scene was very cheesy.
God, there's so many things wrong with that. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
And that's the review.
Right.
Now I can never take this movie seriously because of you guys.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it and laugh.
You guys never hear rape the same again.
He's gonna see the scene and be like,
Right.
Exactly. And then it pisses me off, though.
Struggle.
At the end, he's
snuggle.
like, what they do to you? No, tell me what they do to you. Because you know what they did to her.
they didn't do nothing to me.
Yeah,
Struggle to me.
You know what they did to her.
Those bastards didn't do nothing.
Your boy Shyla pisses me off the whole fucking
He was in that movie too?
bro.
Yeah, Shy.
He's just a young buck. He's a young
But
buck.
that's almost
killed
what
it.
made me not watch the movie, too. Let's
Right.
put that out there.
That's
Really?
That's
I'm a LaBeouf.
well. Here's the thing, and that's me. I kind of like
Closet
some of his
fan, I
shit,
guess.
but
He's hit or miss.
when I first saw that, I was like, "Yo, Hardy and Shia LaBeouf in a movie
A
together."
bootlegger movie? I was
Okay, fuck it. Let's see
like,
how
no,
this
see how
goes.
it's
And
complete.
did you know
I was like,
LaBeouf? He's the reason the movie got made. Like he fought for it for years and years. And
He got
years.
his ass kicked
Yeah.
in that fucking
That was like his passion project.
Because
Thing.
the
Like, his
yellow
ass
is getting
kicked.
work now.
Yo, he
He
killed it,
loved
though.
the role. And but
did.
you see his character evolve from being this like just punk bitch,
Right.
to being a complete
asshole
pretty much
taking a
an
girl
ass-
where he shouldn't have.
Yeah, that. But
Man, that shit pissed me off. I was like,
Yeah.
that was pretty fucked up.
He was trying to flex way too hard.
That's
like you already had her. There was no reason to
Bro,
flex
it's
like
human nature. Like when
I
you
know.
when you start, yeah,
But I'm saying.
I know it's fucked.
It
up.
was just like fucking, Star-Lord. Like, you stupid motherfucker.
yeah.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like,
Fuck
come on.
Star-Lord.
It's like, y'all got the biggest distillery in all of fucking Virginia, and you're gonna fuck it up for this broad?
Exactly.
She wasn't even that cute.
Dude, it was
I
his
say
first
something?
love. Dude, he was puking in front of her.
But she wasn't that cute. The
it's
other
because-
dude's
look,
girl was
they're in
fucking
Virginia.
fine. Yeah, I get you. Okay, you're right.
I mean, the times. Everything
That
in
somehow
consideration.
justifies all of that.
I win. They were in Virginia.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
Can we call it a snuggle struggle instead of struggle?
We have to go
snuggle?
back to this.
I think that's more appropriate.
I didn't know it mattered which one came first.
It sounds. Think about it.
She's not the one that got raped, man.
Snuggle, but snuggle struggle sounds more rapey.
Jessica Chastain, by the way.
I think you're
She killed that.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
She killed that. But so what was so the
I'm not touching.
this
Yeah, the
whole
next
conversation.
letting scene was probably. It was a nice build up to it. It was okay. They built him up to be invisible the whole beginning up to that point.
Right.
Super hype, super hype, super hype. You didn't expect
And
him to
just-
get his.
Yeah.
Like I thought something was gonna happen when he came up on the car, but I didn't expect him to slit his throat.
Who
like
didn't
that.
think he was going to die?
I mean,
I was like, he's dead.
yeah.
Well, damn,
I
now
thought he
know how the
died
movie
when they
ends.
shot him up on the bridge,
And that's it.
then they cut scene back. I'm like, this dude's still fucking
He's
alive.
just indestructible.
But then how they tell you how he
Yeah,
died. That's
yeah.
the funny part about
Oh,
it.
yeah, that was
but-
dope too.
Which
So,
honestly, I thought was one of the
he did that little
weakest points of the
jig
movie.
and shit at the end.
It's the one time he dances, falls
Yeah.
in, and I
wasn't
right,
even a
right when he did it, I went,
just a
he's
jig.
gonna get pneumonia, and then it pops up on the screen, pneumonia. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
come on, don't do
I-
this.
It's kind of poetic in a sense.
Is it
you
though?
know?
I don't know. I thought it was a little.
It kind of adds to the whole almost like Achilles heel type thing. You
Yeah.
know, like he was this great warrior.
Even as great as
but
he
then
is,
this
he's still
random
human and
one-
shit.
Right.
Ammonia.
Like Hercules.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm still.
Right. But what are you giving it? What are you giving it?
Oh yeah,
one-
favorite scene though. We gotta have a scene.
Well,
Favorite
the-
scene was the throat.
Struggle snuggle.
No, not
No, right before struggle snuggle. Right before.
There's so many
Prelude
hashtags
to the
in
struggle
show
snuggle.
today.
God.
Name a beer. Struggle, struggle.
Ooh, can you please?
We will.
We all know Aruba's favorite scene.
That's good.
He even had a
So if
nickname for
you
it.
do name a beer after that, that's gonna be your high ABV beer.
Yeah,
That's gonna be like
a barley wine.
Yeah, exactly, like a 12% or something.
So what's your score?
I mean, it was a little cheesy in parts for sure. Like I said, the cuggles. Nah, even the beginning of the movie and shit like that, and them trying to build up the semantics on the error and shit like that they were trying to sell it on. It was a little cheesy. Like a.
How does that beat Irishman then? It was cheesy.
Because the fucking movie just after they slit his throat, after they slit his fucking throat though, it was game.
We could watch TV shows, fucking 9 episodes deep, but we can't watch Irishman. Come on, man.
Exactly,
No, but you know what? That was true because after Jimmy got off, there was like another 45
It
minutes
just
in the movie.
topped down, and you're like, all right.
You thought the movie was over then. They're like, no, we're gonna give you another 30
That's
minutes.
when it got good.
But I'm still
That's
gonna
the genius
score
of it.
lower than that one too, like a 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
For Lawless?
Yeah.
Okay. You really like you? That was
said
not the
9.5?
score.
Weird.
You say 9? You say 9.5?
Did he not say this is my favorite movie out of all of them?
Because it's not that like it's not.
You know.
Well, to be fair, that's his first rating.
He just talked. He just talked how great it was. And he was like,
No, I did the rating on Irish.
So-
Oh, did you?
so-
I gave that one like a what, an 8 or a 9?
And you
But
just said Lawless is better than
Do you not
Irishman.
know how the number scale works?
Let him do the work.
Listen, the higher the
This is
number,
what
the
happens
better.
when logic meets narrative. Like when your narrative don't match logic. That's what
Oh
happens.
my god!
6.5 out of 5.
Are you sure it's 6.5?
yes.
Okay.
The quality.
He's dyslexic.
He's kind of right though. He's kind of right though.
It's the way
The end of
Let
it.
me hold on. Let me explain. Let me
Oh
explain.
my god.
The end especially, bro. The
Yeah,
last shootout or whatever.
Let me explain.
Well, you got a Scorsese movie versus a fucking that movie almost looked like it was shot low budget and shit.
Okay.
So and it just seemed really basic. The other movie was put together really nice. I mean, everything about it was good.
I'm gonna counter that with the.
I didn't see Airplane.
I will counter that the point with the low budget. All I'm gonna say is Clerks.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, my face hurts.
Yeah.
So
Literally shot in black
6.5.
and white to save money.
I'm still gonna leave it at 6.5.
It still came out really
All
good.
right.
Best movie here tonight.
Best movie here.
6.5.
To the grocery store they were shooting, or the corner store they were shooting.
All right,
Okay.
that's a D- in school.
All right.
He literally got credit cards and maxed them out to make them.
So okay. All right.
I love Clerks. We should review Clerks.
I do love it.
We probably.
We should do Mandy.
Yeah.
We're gonna-
Mandy, we've been having to
6
do
months
since
later.
day one.
I know. Let's keep going.
No,
Let's keep the
I
streak
already
going.
know when we're doing Mandy.
And I love Mandy.
I already have it in here. Trust me.
Halloween?
It's good.
That's a long time.
No, it's just
It's not gonna happen.
it's. Trust me, it will be perfect.
Nick Cage Day?
Is there a Nick Cage Day?
Y'all know when it will
There
happen.
has to be.
Whenever
Y'all
we
will
will do
know.
it.
So, Lawless. Let me get your scene. What's your scene? What's your scene in Lawless?
Oh, favorite scene in Lawless. Oh, shit. Well, going through the Rolodex.
Come on, say it. We're all waiting for you to say it. We know what your favorite.
It's not good. It's like, it's a pretty bad scene, like you said.
Is it really?
I mean,
It's the same scene.
memorable. You know, it's that scene.
It's a coincidence.
all it
Just
is,
scene.
all it is her shaking. That's all it is. Like after the fact.
But you like that scene?
What do you mean?
Of course I did.
I'm literally telling you why it sucks. But do you like it though? No.
He asked you your favorite scene.
I know, but he brought it up, not me.
I can't. I'm sorry.
I was going through the Rolodex and he just pops in. Not the scene. The struggle snuggle.
I didn't say struggle snuggle. But we were all thinking
It has to be. I like the build up to the final confrontation on the bridge, but I don't like the actual battle. Like before that, when they're leaving the house and shit, and they have to follow LaBeouf out. The LaBeouf's all fucking like, "Fuck this!" I'm like, he's gonna prove himself and shit. Like I was hyped. I was like, "Oh fuck, let's go get it." And then they come in behind him, and I'm like, "This is gonna be badass." And then honestly, the ending just completely fucking let me down.
Yeah.
That whole shootout, I'm like, ugh. It just
Came
was.
in there.
And then like the way that he limps away and he walks down, like only him, but nobody's following him or anything. Like it was just those two standing there. I'm like, this is so fucking
Well,
corny.
that was that. Well, I
Yeah.
think that was more just the whole idea because
I know it's like it's poetic or whatever.
Yeah,
that he's
that's
confronting him.
the
but
whole like you know what? Let them have it.
you know
all.
how
Fuck
like
it.
you
We're
have
done.
to have those moments where you let it go. You just go, yeah, I know it's a movie. But like, there was a little much going on there. And then they all live, and they're all getting shot the fuck up, and it's like, especially Tom Hardy, I'm like, come on.
But again, they're invincible.
I know, and he even says it in the beginning.
He's
like,
invincible, but
die.
he got shot. He was the first one to get shot on the first shot.
You want to know an awesome tidbit about Tom Hardy?
What's that?
I read that he described like his this is gonna be hilarious.
Here we go.
He did so sure this is about to get it actually might get problematic. So it might get problematic. So they were asking him like his what he came into it, what his mindset was, and he was like for the character, and he was like. He was like, well, I just wanted to play him like he was a lesbian butch.
What?
Yeah. Wow. So that was like his whole...
Those are actually called studs nowadays.
Whatever the fuck. That's what he said in the interview.
Is it PC?
So he wanted to play... So their parents... So he explained it. He explained it. Their parents died, so he had to play daddy and mommy. So like he said like his character he felt like had to kind of like take care of everybody in more ways than one.
Okay.
And he also saw him as a virgin. That's why he was like so apprehensive about her, and she even walked in naked, and he was like, I don't know about this. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't think he said that.
No, but essentially is what he got. Like, she came in and she was like, "Yeah, fuck me or not." And he was like, and then he had a retort, which was,
I was trying to figure out what he said. Do you know what he said? I was like,
had the subtitles.
She had to climb in bed, get on his dick, and that was the
he
only way
didn't
it
move. I was
he was just sitting there.
That shit.
So like it was implied. He said that he felt like he was a virgin as well because he was too busy taking care of his brothers. And
Right.
Get into that kind of thing. So like he the way he said he described it, he was like I tried to channel like a lesbian butch style.
What? Well, when you explain it like that, it makes sense.
It does. Like when you rewatch, I watched it with that in mind.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, and what's your score?
Okay.
Because like it was so anticlimactic to me. I'm gonna be about where he is, about like a 6.8.
Fuck.
Because, but
it was my favorite movie, but it wasn't like.
But it was brutal.
I guess I shouldn't have said
like,
best.
I love the violence, dude. The violence. I'm trying to say something. The violence is brutal. Like every time it goes down, you're like, oh my god! Like every time, it's effective. It's awesome. Shia LaBeouf, in my opinion,
he killed it.
I love his character, and I love his acting in that movie.
All right. Yeah. So Chuck, you seen Lawless?
Yes? I did not, but apparently this movie is about bootlegging and rape.
Yeah.
So
whoa!
There's like a half a scene of rape.
Hey.
Did we figure out if it's Snuggle Struggle or Struggle Snuggle?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay.
Struggle Snuggle's pretty good.
My favorite scene probably was the opening, and it's only because.
Hold on. Let me turn down the background.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's why. It kind of speaks now to what we're going through with weed.
True.
So you see all these stills firing up over here, and like you see how like the government is literally pissing into the wind, like just trying to stop all this.
Right.
You know, and to me that's my favorite scene.
I love his metaphors.
Now it's also like so yeah you've got the family and everything, and to me because I actually got out of Colombia during the narco wars, which is sort of like the bootleg shit was back in the day.
True.
So you're kind of exposed to the violence and everything. To me, and I kind of get Big Red's anticlimactic thing because eventually, like, you look at all the shit that happened in Colombia with the Cali cartel, the Medellin cartel, and all this shit. You're like, that shit, everybody got their comeuppance. Did these guys deserve it? Maybe not. Maybe they did. But to me, that's always going to be my favorite scene because you see the government trying to stop something on the premise of like morality and shit. No, people want to turn up, bro. Yeah,
people want to turn up.
You gotta move into the camera.
No, both
speak to Congress. Speak to Congress. People want to turn up, motherfuckers.
Exactly.
People want to stroke.
But that's so. It's the same thing with like weed and even like all this other shit. Now.
I got some. No,
On a
not
side
that
note,
hard,
then,
but,
it's perfect that you guys brought this movie in now. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but last week it was Prohibition Day or Repeal Day. So turn up to that.
Preach.
Shout out
Shout out to
so
that.
Repeal Day, man, because
When was that? When was that?
I want
Last
to
week.
say it was the 7th, and it's always December 7th.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Pearl Harbor?
No, you're right. No, you're right. No, yeah, you are
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I
it's
want to
Pearl
say it's
Harbor.
either 5th or the 9th, but yeah, that's...
Okay.
It was the other day.
And
One of those days.
Mr. Harris,
as far as you
Mr.
can
Class.
remember, what was your scene that you pretty much remember at this point.
Don't do it.
Well, no, that's that.
Come on.
My favorite scene was that.
Serge is waiting.
Yeah, all right.
And your score.
It's a
My
coffee
score was
vanilla
probably
porter.
a 6.
6?
On that one, so.
Okay.
Wow.
right.
everybody's
We're
giving
all
it a
like
6.
right in line. That's pretty
Well,
great.
apparently I'm
That's
only
amazing
one
to me.
that's
Not for
gonna
me, but
be a little bit higher,
Good
but
shit.
it's
Stand
not
up for
really
it.
going to be much
sharing that
higher.
good shit.
So like I said earlier, I was like, I was like, yo, Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf. I was like, fuck it, I want to watch this. And I was pleasantly surprised by the overall. I do agree with all the statements how it was, anticlimactic. Because I really wanted him and this motherfucker. Like, I wanted him to just shoot him the fuck down,
Bro, the whole movie builds
But-
up to something that's like,
Yeah,
What?
or even just beat the shit out of him.
I know.
And he didn't. And shout out to fucking Guy Pearce though. He is a
Guy
fucking
Pearce,
he's an
dope
awesome
villain.
actor.
and Gary fucking Oldman.
Yes,
dude. Gary,
Thank you.
Gary
You took
Oldman.
it from me, you
He's
son of
one
a
of the
bitch.
most
I'm sorry.
underrated actors.
Look. When I saw him, I was like, I know that motherfucker. When I first watched the movie, I was like, I know that guy. And then I was like, I
Tommy
legit
Gun?
paused
Wait,
it.
which one? Guy Pearce or
Gary Oldman. Like, because he plays the dopest gangster of the whole movie.
Oh, not even
He's
close.
good in everything,
Was
though.
it Frank?
That's my dude.
Frank Ballard, I think, or Frank Beller or some shit like that.
I can't remember the name.
But-
But
Fucking horrible.
I like him in Fifth Element.
Yeah, but he
Virginia,
blew my mind. I was just like, yo, that's fucking Gary Oldman.
dude. He
And-
comes in with that Tommy gun and just
And just stands in front of the car, just like, blah, like zero fucks. Like, he ain't hit me.
Yeah.
But,
Established that Gary Oldman's like a comedian when it comes to acting.
dude, he is. He is the fucking roles. This same guy, that Sirius Black, shot to Harry Potter.
Yep.
His fucking
Wait,
uncle.
He's in Harry Potter.
Yes!
I don't know Harry Potter well.
Sirius Black.
Yeah, Sirius
I don't
Black.
know.
He's the fourth movie.
in,
I think it is.
He was also Commissioner
third?
Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that well.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know about no Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Element?
But yeah, so
The bad guy.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
weird
shit,
thing on his
yeah.
head.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good. I like the story. I like that it is based on real shit besides not just the bootlegging, but actual group of brothers, like the whole thing, like, because it's a book that you can read about the shit. So, but my favorite scene, though, honestly, was the most fucked up, though, is just because it hits you, is when Cripple, what's his name? Cripple?
Oh, yeah. when they fucked him
Dude,
up.
they fucked.
Disabled.
What about the tarred and
Nah.
feathers?
No, his name is legit. Like,
Yeah.
That's because he had to walk though. Because
Yeah.
he had, what the fuck's
he had
Crickets.
Crickets.
Crickets was his
Ricketts.
name.
Yeah, he had
What's his
Crickets.
name? Crickets?
Well, his name was Cricket, I think it
You're all
was.
getting it mixed with It's Always Sunny.
But,
I think his name was some fucking...
no, it's like Cricket,
Yeah.
Cricket or some shit. But
His legs were all fucked up.
He's
and
like
shit.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like the.
I felt bad for that kid, man.
Yeah, he was the smart one. He had rickets and it fucked him
Yeah,
up.
he
and-
fucking hooked up
and
the
that boy
truck and
wouldn't
shit
hurt a
for him and
fly.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude, that actor himself, like, he's a real dope actor. Actually.
That's exactly how
When
it was.
LaBeouf, when
dude.
LaBeouf is on the fucking table,
He's
he's
crying.
hurt a fly.
He put his head down on the table. Shit.
I like that line. It's like, who wrote that?
Yeah, I was
Like, he had to deliver that line. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know who told him to put his head on the fucking
Wait,
table.
what was the
though.
line?
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Oh yeah, because basically the scene I'll say is when they got raided, because it's pretty much one of
Because
the
he
high
fucked
points.
up again.
Because
Yeah,
Shia
that was
LaBeouf's
bad, yeah.
dumbass, he had to keep on flexing, just like a dumbass man, to
Yep.
keep on flexing, to keep trying to press the bitch that you
It's
already
a tale
got.
of
Trying to get him his skin.
You know.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And
Way to make it so
Don't know about
progressive
the
and current.
cartels. Like, it's shit like that, bro. Like, the
Bro,
cartels.
they need to make a new fucking like movie about the prohibition that also deals with like the war on drugs we're going on with right now. Like actually ties it in well. You know what I'm
And
saying?
so, like, that's what it always was, dude. Like, so, and I'm gonna drill down a little deeper, all right? So, you look at American Gangster, all right?
Oh, yes.
So, all right, so first of all, like, in Colombia, it was always about the flex. Always, all right? Like, we bought out, dude, there was, like, Escobar bet the Cali cartel one time when it was, like, Medellin and Cali for, like, soccer. Bro, they were, like, betting millions on each other. Like, here, it ain't nothing to us. That's how it was. That was a flex. And it goes to further reinforce what I'm getting at. In American Gangster, like, dude always kept a low profile.
Exactly.
Always. Until what?
Preached it.
His girl bought him that mink coat
Yeah.
at the boxing event, and then all of a sudden, now he comes up on Russell Crowe's radar. He's like,
Yeah.
who's
Who the
that
hell is
dude?
that guy right there?
Exactly.
That's
That
what it is,
pussy.
dude. And Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's what I was telling you about. Like,
Exactly.
the flex and the greed always fucks you up.
Every time. Scarface,
$$, $y.
You know, but so no, you're good. But that scene where he actually he takes him out there and he straight up just breaks his neck, like just fucking visceral. And,
it's rough.
And you're really like, yo, really, you had to. You
know what got me, man, was the tarred and feathered kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit.
When they put the tar on, I was like, oh! And it's like you see the
that
steam.
That was another scene that was vicious.
Yeah.
I was like,
and then he shows up on the porch and he's still moving. I was like, he's fucking alive.
That's the part that bothered me.
Damn it. Yeah, I was like, dude, what? His whole body? Anyway.
But yeah, so
I have to go back and watch this one.
It's good, man. It's worth a watch.
Pretty interesting.
But so me personally, I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
That's the best.
Definitely a solid 7. I like the whole idea. Yes, the ending was kind of lackluster.
I do have one question.
But yeah,
is it based off any real people or is it fictional? Okay.
Yeah, it's legit. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a 7 for me. Otherwise, it would be lower.
Called the West County.
Doesn't mean
Because it would be like that.
And
my favorite could be a piece
and actually, at the end of the movie, they show
a picture of the brothers.
And they're all ugly ass hillbilly hicks, fucking from Virginia.
I might like shit better.
I mean, but it's like you got Shia LaBeouf and fucking Tom Hardy. You got these pretty boys playing them, but it's pretty good.
Apparently, there's a lot of people in there too because you said Gary Oldman and
Jessica
Gary Oldman, bro.
Chastain.
And the way LaBeouf looks up to him the whole time and literally is looking up at him a few times.
And that first time he makes the deal with the fucking
shush
with the gangster.
There's literally camera shots where he's looking down. Shush, man!
I'm just saying. He didn't suck his dick. Cue me up. For the last review.
Oh shit! What are you talking about?
The last review.
That's the struggle snuggle we were talking about.
I gotta find it.
I love that you guys are using that term now. This is awesome.
All right. So
snuggle? This ain't me, bro.
No, he's talking about the other term.
No, that's not me.
No, this is just a gift.
Yeah,
it's also local, by the way.
Yeah, it's local if you wanted me to plug some more shit, bro.
Go ahead, get your plug on. Everybody,
Seventh
get your plug on.
Seventh Son is solid.
It's that coffee shit.
Yeah, coffee vanilla porter, Imperial porter.
I like their IPA.
Seventh Son and fermented reality.
You can smell the beans.
Yeah, the homies got a podcast, and they also got a spot over on the Dorf over there on the old Channel Side joint.
Nice.
Little beer garden. That's them people.
All right. So, what is there any event in general that you've seen around town that you would like to partake in with bringing you what you have?
Eventually, the goal is to one day be a part of the Hunapoo festival with Cigar City, of course. Okay. The OGs in the game. I mean, they're everything. I mean, I wouldn't even be brewing right now if it wasn't for Cigar City.
I love Cigar City.
I'm calling out Michael McElvey right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oswald White, my boy over in 18th Street, Sour Note Brewing. He came up over at Cigar City. A lot of the OGs that have their own brewery right now, they started at Cigar City. Ben, Tyler, a lot of them dudes. Streeter, I'm sorry, Greg Streeter. Sorry, fucking up your name, dude. All those dudes started off from Cigar City. Joey Redner and those dudes put a lot of money into the game initially, put a lot of sweat, equity into the game, and really set the groundwork down for us and gave me something to aspire to. So, and any time that I can give back to those dudes or even tip my head over to those guys, for sure.
Nice. All right, so it's time for the last review of the evening.
Bebop.
Sir!
Yes!
I missed him too.
Jover's gonna take over probably.
Well, he's second.
I think this is his world.
This is second. Because I went ahead and put this up on. Because this is one of the ones that I wanted people to see, especially Chuck. Because I knew this was the only way I was gonna get Chuck to ever watch it. You know. And
this is a known vote.
Huh?
An hour later.
He dropped that off to the side. Like,
I am, yeah, Spanish. Spain.
Actual Spanish.
I'm actually Hispanic, yes.
So.
No, she's Indian, man.
Actually,
Native American. I'm sorry. She's Native American. you have like
more than 0.3%?
You have like
of
1/100th of a.
Oh my god! All right.
It says Barcelona.
Neither because I don't remember my high school
Texas
Spanish. Neither because I don't remember my high school Spanish.
You have a list.
No, yeah, because most Spanish they have a list.
I'm also European as fuck outside of that too.
Do they really?
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Like Spain, Spanish?
Yeah, because
like
there's the
Spanish,
king.
Yeah, like if you go in, like,
Barcelona?
It's because there was a king that used to have
yeah,
us.
you ask, hey, can, like, say you're out like in Seville or whatever, and you go, hey, ¿cómo llego a Barcelona? They'll be like,
Yeah, you gotta put that list in there.
¿cómo llegar a Barcelona?
Yo, Tango.
It's because there was a king at one point that had a list, and it became fashionable to do that because he had the list. That's what
Ah.
I was about to say.
it did. It just stuck.
Dropping facts.
Nice.
Tango me gusta.
All right, so
Barcelona.
The music is fire in the
So
background.
Mike Tyson would kill it over there. No? Nothing?
all right, bring it
Cowboy.
back. Bring it back. Bring it back. All
Space
right,
Cowboy.
so fucking space cowboys in this
Space
bitch.
Cowboy.
Some people call him the Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
We agreed the next 5 episodes was 6 to 10. Again, I feel like it works almost as a movie in itself.
Dude, 1 through 5 for
ending.
sure.
And then at 6 through 10, and I'll explain why. Because 6, you get that little bit of more of them kind of developing, as a team. Because that story is dope with the kid that's not a kid, and he that has you literally you don't know the way they did that was just dope.
Yeah.
And also, fun little fact, as you probably noticed, all the titles have something to do with music.
Yep.
This one,
Sympathy
Sympathy
for the
Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Loved it.
Heavy Metal Queen.
Heavy
the
Metal
Waltz.
Queen, exactly. Waltz for Venus, Ganymede LG.
what's Waltz for Venus?
That's the one with Rocco and the plant.
No, but I mean,
What's
what
the reference?
band?
What's the
The Waltz for Venus?
Waltz.
The Waltz.
Waltz for Venus?
Venus?
the waltz.
The Waltz.
Oh, just the waltz? Oh, I thought it was for.
But there's also a
my
movement
God.
of 12 different planets. That guy wrote each song. So I wrote
I mean, of course, the
too.
waltz. Everybody
Yes.
knows that, but I didn't know.
But,
I thought it was like
reference.
the waltz for
It's a
Venus.
reference, man.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
a
whatever,
music.
damn.
Waltz is also dance
I thought it
and
was
music.
one for Venus.
And the intros.
But yeah, so because it all you and jamming with Edward, you basically see the formation, and then you finally get the last piece, which is Edward, and then episode 10, which is the Ganymede LG, is you get that kind of closure in a sense. You get a big moment. You get a big piece of one of the characters, which is Jet. Because in 5, you get that big piece of Spike. You
Yeah,
meet
that's-
Vicious. You see how badass they both are. You see the dynamic building. And then episode 10, you see, boom, you got Jet. You see his lost love, the lady that left him, and why did
Was
she
that like
leave
a
him?
moon of Jupiter? Because I saw
Ganymede
Jupiter.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in the background.
Yeah, nice catch. But yeah, and I love the 15. That's the only thing that kind of got me ever about it. Is so in the future, do we add hours? How do we do this? There's 15. Why?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
His watch, his little
15
his
hours?
pocket watch.
You didn't catch that detail?
I
Yeah,
didn't catch that either.
Yeah, so it's 15 hours instead of your
I didn't even look
standard
at that.
12, Yeah, so
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes
I didn't
sense.
catch that.
But
Well, 12 hours into a few.
Right.
It wasn't too over the top. It was actually pretty easy to watch. It's very accessible to
Yeah.
watch.
And the music.
And the music is fantastic.
Music's the best part,
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
I told you, it immerses you into the world, man. Like there's always something. Like if it's a chase scene or
It's
if
always
like,
different.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It fits
something,
every
but
time.
It's like,
Bro.
that's what it is, dude. Like to me, I always forget, but it's that soft guitar strumming.
Yeah.
And it's the name of it. It's called Waltz for CZ. But like, it's always like a somber mood. It's always like it makes you like almost reminisce, or like it brings back that nostalgia, like for something. And that to me, that's why that like to this day, I've actually gone and found that song and I downloaded it. Yes, I don't fucking stream my music. I downloaded it, but I still have that on there, and it's just because it's such a like powerful song. Those first strums of that like guitar right there, it tells you that you're being recalled to something else.
Boom.
Like it's that nostalgia. You're longing for something of a better time or a better situation. So
And as you see, a lot of the running theme is these people dealing with their past. You know, which
true.
is
Yeah.
so far the 5 sets of each episodes, you get like I said, a piece of everybody. So that's why I love how it kind of accidentally happened, because like I said, I didn't want to overwhelm. So the 5, and it's panning. Like this is one of the first times I kind of sat down and did because because I always binge the fuck out of it. You know, so I never have to stop at 5 episodes. But doing that and looking at it in that aspect of like, you could sell this as a movie, you know, in those sets. But for me, everything about it, it's, I mean, we're now at like, I think I gave it like a 9. We're probably at 9.5 now because of just how everything's developing.
You mean like score?
Yeah,
okay.
For me. And then for me,
I'm totally opposite.
The
5.9.
Looking forward to this.
Okay. The moment or
Someone's gonna get triggered.
I want to say honestly it was the last episode Ganymede LG when at the end he throws the watch in the water.
Yeah.
Like him just kind of saying, you know what? All right, fuck it. I got my closure per se. And I always wondered if they got paid for that because he kind of got the bounty in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
They never really showed him get paid except for the one time Spike took from
There
the
was
heavy
only
metal
one
queen.
time they
She
ever
took
got
like a
paid.
couple
No, they get
girls.
paid every so often
Right.
So far.
to kind of, you know, emphasize that they don't always win. But when they do, you know, there's something about it where it's fake depositing at the casino or whatever.
That was a cool little device, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it
where
pulls
we're
it out
going.
and,
Dude,
like,
we have that.
I
Cash
know,
App.
yeah.
Cash
It's crazy.
App. Yeah.
But like, but they're physically doing it. We're better than that, right?
Right, well, exactly.
Which is
We're
crazy.
a step up.
Yeah.
So, but also the emphasis on hacking.
Yeah.
I love how they show where, because net diving, basically that's what Facebook is about to start doing.
Yep.
You got the VR, and you'll be surfing the net via.
They called it 21 years ago.
Exactly, bro.
And to that end, fuck Facebook because I keep getting VR ads on my shit. Facebook can eat a fucking dick.
Like
How
if
the
you
fuck
knew
am I
me
getting-
so
How
well,
the fuck can I do VR with one eye, man? That's
yo,
bullshit.
Even though we're streaming live on Facebook, fuck Facebook. you
right?
know?
Thank you,
No, yeah,
Facebook.
no, Zuckerberg, man, work this shit out, man. I
Right?
can't do VR with one eye.
Every
man.
time I
What the
mention
fuck?
something on Messenger to somebody, like a
Oh, yeah.
it pops up in my
course.
feed, and I'm like,
Dude, they're always
fuck
listening.
off. I hate that.
We say "fuck you" in a joking way. Don't leave us
does.
alone, please.
Don't turn us on.
But yeah, so
But I bought those Ugg boots.
that
damn it.
scene. All right, so
It's my midget porn.
because he's here, because this
But I
was
bought my year's supply of of midget
You know
porn.
what? I will.
Or
I'll go
little people,
first. I'll go second. I'll go second to last.
yeah. Well, second to last. Okay. All right. So we are actually pretty interested at this point.
Wait a minute, wait. Go
ahead, you're
we're just
next.
doing all 5 or whatever.
Well, yeah. You know, as a whole.
Well, you said
yeah.
that you said that you weren't impressed with these 5 as you were.
It
with the
wasn't
previous.
as engaging to me, but at the same time, I told you like I was watching the last 3 on my phone
Right.
today, so it wasn't like optimal.
So you were cramming.
I was cramming a little bit, to be honest. Because
That's
like
understandable.
I watched The Irishman honestly twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Actually, I should say it was 1.5. I didn't quite make it to the end, but basically twice.
Kind of
And
crapped out.
yeah, I'm sorry,
But go ahead.
but I'll be honest. The big thing I walk away from is what's that hacker girl's name?
Ed.
Ed.
Yeah.
Is it a girl or is it a guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, they say it's at the
At
end
the
of
end of the
episode.
scene, it's just like, oh, you're a girl. Like,
Yeah.
that's like,
Yeah.
Jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
I hate that character.
Yeah.
Bro, and,
understandable.
and then she joined him, and I was like, no! Like that was like I was so hoping, like I was honestly like dispassionate completely about the episode because of her, and I was kind of like, oh, this will be over, and then we don't have to worry about her no more. And she gets on there, and then the next episode, like she's trying to be ladylike, like what's her name? Shay, not Shay.
Faye.
Faye.
Faye can get it.
Yeah, Faye can get it. And She's
Okay.
like the whole time, it's a number of titties.
She's the horror actor I've been looking for.
Sometimes
this
that's all you
whole-
need.
Here we go.
Let's go.
man, I sit the care, man.
She's the horror actor
Bro, like
I've been
literally
looking
an
for.
episode
this
opens
whole episode.
an episode opens up where she opens the fridge and it's just tits. And like,
Yes.
and then she eats the dog food. Awesome.
Yes.
It's a bad bitch.
Anyways, she's so good. And this girl,
Ready to see your search history. I really am. I really
Yeah.
am.
my search history is fine.
She can't do anything and not.
Who's gonna go delete his history though? When Red goes eventually, who's gonna go delete his history? Because I sure as hell am not.
I'm not.
touching that shit.
I know.
I don't want to know.
world see.
I know him the longest, so I'll take care of that. I'll fall
No,
in that
listen,
order.
don't
I will
delete
be
it.
able to unsee what he has seen.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to.
know.
Don't delete it. Screen cap it and share it with the world.
Yes.
I'll share it with y'all. I'll
Okay.
This was his
Y'all are
dying
gonna be
wish.
disappointed by that, by the way.
No.
You're gonna be like, that is so
midget,
boring.
midget, midget, midget.
Here's the way it works, all right?
If
If you want midget porn, I got your.
He's the plug.
I'll bring the laptop. I'll bring his phone out here. We'll look at it together, and then we'll burn it. Okay?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, I don't get off at all to midget porn.
I tried, but don't get off at all. That implies that you've tried.
I don't get off at all to little midget or little people porn.
That means he's watched the whole video.
Oh my god!
From the dialogue.
Make this any better. You literally cannot make this any better.
I watched the whole opening scene, dialogue.
I don't get off at all to little people porn.
All the way to cum
However,
shot. Nothing.
On their little struggles.
Hey, ignorant ales likes little people.
Oh my god.
My wife is handicapped. She's probably like 4'9" or some shit.
Bro, do not drink.
Don't do it. Do not do this.
It's great, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
go home.
I'm
Lock
just
doors.
trying to say we got love for small people.
Everybody's equal. I'm staying Swiss on this one.
Right. So,
Right, so as you were, sorry. So
Yeah.
you hate that word. Yeah.
so you're not a big fan of Ed. That's okay. As we come back around to Cowboy Bebop.
I honestly like. So the 10th episode, the last one, where like he goes back and he confronts that bitch, and he's like, "Bitch, you with this fucking piece of shit."
Right.
Not a bad episode. I actually like what was the fucking.
With
So it's 6, 7, 8.
yeah.
What was the 8th episode? That's the best one, where like the kid was like a rookie and he was.
Yeah.
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 No,
That was my favorite
Was
one.
that episode 9? I thought that was.
No, that's 8. That's 8. That's
Okay,
8.
so then, yeah, the one.
It was 6, 7, 8. There was a third one in.
where he's like trying to take care of his blind sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I like that one because you connect with
Yeah.
that shit, and it's like that's fucking good. And the 10th episode where like
Yeah.
he goes back and all that, but it is a little on the nose as far as in the dialogue. Like really, he's really like talking his feelings, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I like more subtle shit a little bit, like the fact that he's like really. I don't know. The 10th episode I wanted to be a fan of, but I wasn't as big of a fan of. I thought that 8 was really good.
Okay. All right. And what's your overall score?
Of the 6 through 10,
Yeah.
I don't know what I rated the first 5. I probably gave a 9, man.
Yeah.
Because like especially for anime, I don't like anime and I liked
Right.
it. But this I probably like. I appreciate the animation, the music, like y'all said. Like front to back is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole
Oh, yeah.
time
Is
it's
that how you
amazing.
like?
Huh?
Is that how you like?
Fucking Serge, see the thing? Serge is just over on bullshit today.
I'm sorry.
Holy
I have to keep up with Rio Paris, man. He's fucking hilarious.
No, just wait. Wait.
That's my man. No.
So I downloaded the soundtrack and I watched my little people porn to it. And
Playing in the background.
it's really funky, dude.
I
But
don't think there is.
3, 2, 1, let's jam.
See you,
Press
Space
play.
Cowboy.
What is your score? Holy shit. Oh, God.
So,
Thank you guys.
so yeah, I'll give it 8.
All
I'll
right.
give it 8.
All right. So,
Long story short.
Matt.
That was my review.
Oh shit.
Matt.
Yeah.
You're still here.
Yeah, and I still get in trouble, bro. It's 6.5.
Why are
over
you
there,
surprised
bro.
about it? You said it.
I just want to know it. I think somebody gave Lawless 7. So,
That was me.
so you know,
and I'm okay
6.5
with
to
that.
7.
Right.
You know,
That's fine.
You know.
We all kind of agreed there.
just because I said 1 was my favorite,
right.
That's the thing. That's what got us all.
I got curved on
This
that
is my
after.
favorite. 6.5.
Better than Irishman.
Yeah.
It's better than Irishman, but I'm going to rate it way lower. But it doesn't matter because it's still better.
But yeah, so go
All right,
ahead.
I'm trying to make it up here.
Bebop.
All right, Bebop's the shit. So I don't watch 10. Yeah, right. No. Fucking 10.
Give me a T.
Give it a fucking 10. Oh, I love that movie.
So I don't watch any fucking anime.
Okay.
I might have watched one, and all I remember it was
That's
fucking technical tentacles and fucking and shit.
That's
a lot of
called
fucking.
That's called hentai.
No, it was.
It's definitely hentai.
No,
He knows.
that's what it is, man.
Oh, that's what. Oh,
Definitely
there's a genre.
That yes.
Oh, there's a Pornhub for that.
You literally,
Shit.
like the tentacles and the
And fucking.
Nah, like this dude. All right, you
Tentacles
Bo,
and
you
the
know about all these shits.
Go ahead,
It was a
dude.
big.
Bo, you know all about this. Hey, so did I. Here we go. It's getting real now.
Bo.
So did
All right. Hold on before I forget.
I'm not a fucking freak. I don't like hentai.
We got time here. We got.
Come on, fuck on.
But what if the hentai?
At least what I watch is real.
But what if the hentai has midgets?
So is Ninja Scroll whatever the fuck you're talking about?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Maybe there might have been
Ninja
tentacle
Scroll?
porn in Ninja
Yeah.
Scroll. Was there?
Hold on.
Isn't that a real fucking
Yeah.
anime?
Yeah, Ninja Scroll.
There was some
good.
fucking in that shit. And if you fucked the one person, you would die. She would kill you or
Right.
some shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Those people exist. Sustained.
All right. So here's the way it works.
Damn,
It
he's
wasn't
right.
Woo! He is kind
Boom.
of like. So what it was is that, and of course this is fucking anime, so it gives all.
And it's old as shit.
So what it is
it's
that
old.
evidently the girl gets poisoned, and the only way or the antidote to the poison
Right.
is semen. So.
Oh.
And this is my introduction to anime before this movie.
Wow.
So
What a wholesome genre you
I
like.
forgot about Ninja Scroll.
this is me getting into this
Hey,
movie.
Dragon Ball Z is what
borderline
got me
hentai.
into anime.
Like,
All right.
He is kind of right. That shit is borderline hentai because it's like,
Yeah.
really, like you could have just like beat it off and just slapped it up there. But what's the fun in that?
Insemination.
Hey, it was pretty.
What's the fun in that?
It was pretty
take this turkey
graphical. Yeah,
baster.
they were doing some shit in
This
that movie.
podcast brought to you by Ignorant L's.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
All right, so
It's the plug he didn't know he wanted.
Let's continue.
So Ninja
Hey,
Scrolls
look,
is
he's disappearing in the background. That's what I did.
what?
I think because I'm white.
Oh.
Yeah, but you can still see the back of his head.
That's because I'm bald too. It's a bald love,
See,
bro.
fuck y'all.
Bald is
No,
beautiful.
you should have
Anyways.
sat where he is. That way, because
Anyways.
his hair would kind of block that out.
Oh my
shit.
god.
All right.
All right, so Ninja Scroll is all I know about anime. So I stepped into this shit, and I will say the music got me instantly.
amazing.
Bomb. Wish I was on mushrooms watching the whole fucking
Oh.
thing. Binge
Ow.
watch it, mushrooms.
Damn.
happen.
Small dose, maybe like
Micro.
gram and a half,
Yeah.
2 grams.
That's a small dose to you.
So, anyways, wait. Disclaimer there. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Jesus.
He's like, whoa.
Whoa.
So, yeah, binge watch the whole thing.
Right.
8-hour fucking
Right,
mushroom
okay.
binge is where I was at on this shit.
Okay.
Fuck you, I'm watching this show.
So, the
I
music.
retained none of it.
Oh, you would have retained the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
So the music was dope as shit. And then I'm not a big fan of the animation and the cutscenes and all that, but they do sell the shit out of it. And the fucking fight scenes are phenomenal. Heavy metal was my shit. And then the episode with the plant.
Yeah. The
That was not 9,
That was
right?
my favorite. 7, 8.
7, 8.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch 9? 9, I was with you. The fucking dude with the turned out to be
yeah.
a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
that girl,
The
man.
The tranny annoyed the fuck out of me throughout
Leave
the
her
whole
alone.
episode.
Hey, she's like the little
And
kid.
again, that's not politically correct, but okay.
Right?
Oh shit! Sorry.
She walks in on two dudes fucking.
Yes, and
Which back in the
in
day-
all honesty, you didn't know what she was until the very end of the episode.
Yeah,
So-
and you had to be paying attention. You had to listen.
yeah.
Well, Michael Che, would you call a black person blackie? No!
Yikes.
You would not call a black person blackie, so you would
Call
not call a
trans
trans
person
person
blackie. You wouldn't.
tranny.
You wouldn't do it. I would do it. Fucking whitey, blackie. I don't give a fuck.
Whitey Ford. Oh my god.
My God.
All right, yeah. So
If I'm mad at you, I'm calling you whitey.
I guess 7 and 8 were good.
Brown,
So,
I
okay.
guess.
You got me for a dude that doesn't watch anime. I'm gonna
Okay.
go back. I'm gonna
Give me
watch the whole
Whitey.
thing.
All right. So, what's your score for?
I gotta give it like a 7.5, bro.
Okay. All
That's
right.
more than his favorite movie.
That is.
To stay in my trend of scoring, I give it a 7.5.
I'm ready.
It's not as good as The Irishman. It's in between Lawless and Irishman.
Better than Lawless.
Yeah.
All right. I've been waiting for this one though. Chuck,
He's basically on my side about Irishman. He doesn't even
come on.
Did you not see it?
Put me on the spot.
He doesn't even know it.
you're
He's like,
next in
I
line.
love the Irishman.
You next in line. You went from him to me. That's
Yeah, I thought we were going around the corner.
He's doing
Well, I already went.
He's doing the Star of David.
We're all ignorant today. This is some sort of blood sacrifice.
Like, yeah, this is some seance, bro.
We're all ignorant today, man. We're all ignorant.
This is a Ouija board right now.
So, as someone that doesn't watch anime, I like a handful of animes.
That's what everybody has said.
Yeah, exactly.
me, man.
Exactly. Like I forgot about Ninja Scroll to be honest, and that is a good series. I do like some others. This one's very accessible because it's not over the top. You know, it's not like the ones with the huge, weird, buggy eyes, and they just scream
Right.
for no fucking reason.
Except for the
little
girl. God damn. That's the one. That's why I can see it.
Right. I get it. I get it.
But it's a good series too. It's a good story. I was pretty intrigued just by the story alone. But the animation is good. It's not over the top. It holds up very well for being 21 years old.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah, 98.
Yeah,
98.
it says it like right in the
God.
Yeah.
Lee, I feel old
The
now.
crazy fact is that they actually canceled it halfway through, And then they went back, and then like someone else fought for it, and they're like, "No, we have."
What
to see
episode
this
they
through."
canceled?
I don't know. I'll find out
I'm
for
pretty
you.
sure it's got to be Toys in the Attic.
You think so?
It's got to be.
Damn, they keep on the rock and roll
because
references?
it was so subtle.
Hey,
you know,
they keep on with the rock and roll references.
Yeah,
Toys in the
no,
Attic.
they
dude,
do,
the
they
music,
do, but,
well,
like-
music references.
But
But yeah.
Sorry,
What'd I say?
cut you off.
No,
Now
you're good.
continue,
No,
but
you're
no,
good.
Well, you
yeah,
said
they did
rock.
cancel it. You might be right about Toys in the Attic, though. But
Yeah.
continue, man.
I didn't know that was the case. It reminds me of like Serenity and Firefly.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
that show got canceled way before it should have.
So shout out to Disney Plus, bro, because they all want to make fucking money, and I bet you, dude, in 2 years
That will come back.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
coming
I'll
back.
watch it.
I heard
I'll
there's
watch
somebody
it.
else already trying to do it.
No, but
I'll
But
watch
there
it.
is Netflix or some shit.
no, because what it was is that when Disney bought out all of Fox's shit, the reason that Joss Whedon and Fox always went back and forth is because when Joss Whedon was first starting out, he signed his shit to all his intellectual property to Fox, and then once he came up, he's like, "Yo, I got all this money now." I was like, he's actually he said that he would want to go back and make Serenity or continue the series, but Fox, being as petty as they were, they would never let him. Now, guess what? Disney has
Disney
all that
owns
money,
Fox, right?
and Whedon is good with Disney.
Boom.
It might happen, bro.
Can you dig it?
I just wonder if that would be like, would it pick up where the show left off or
I
where
think
the
it would
movie
pick
left
up where
off?
the movie left off, and it's only because we all saw like how it hurt when Wash died.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers. For
I was just
anybody
gonna
else.
say, so it's
I don't even know
not
what you're
coming
talking
back?
about.
Yeah.
So, fine.
But
That's
all
cool.
right, so continue, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. But
No,
yeah,
you're
it was
good.
canceled, and then but
I didn't know.
So
that.
what's your review?
yeah, continue.
Anyway, it's actually a very good show. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
And you actually had from front to back to where we are now, right? You
yes.
watched the first.
So when I get my
okay.
rating, it's going to be 1 through 10. It's not going to be 1 through
Yeah,
5
which
and
makes
6 through 10.
that's what I was gonna. Yeah, good.
The soundtrack was phenomenal, and you've been telling me that for as long as I've known you. You know? Yeah, it's one anime I'll actually truly watch and enjoy. Yeah.
And so far, out of the first 10 episodes, so now sucks for you because you got to pick a moment out of these 10 episodes. So far, they should be like, yo, okay, yeah.
All right, so the episode Heavy Metal Queen. It took me the longest time to realize she was a woman.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, this man has a weird voice. It's like, oh shit, husband. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a woman. I had no fucking clue the entire time.
Yeah.
This show's progressive.
That's kind of hard, I think, to be honest, but yeah.
It really is.
But no, it's a good show overall. 1 through 10 episodes. Give it an 8.8.
Okay. Nice. All right, Jofer, take us home, buddy.
All right. So, you and I've told you this before.
Right.
And I'm glad that you guys are opening up your horizons with this. This is like the reason.
Opening up what?
Horizon.
Expanding our
sorry.
horizons, bitch.
All right, if you want to, pour eyes.
Wait.
He heard the first part of that sentence.
Opening.
But
Selective
There had to be
hearing.
an opening.
Like, for example, I've always told Big Red, since I've known this dude for 20 years, and in a good part of my life, I always told him, dude, you got to check the show out. You got to check the show out. Finally, he's getting into it. And then I hear other people that have never been into anime that they're like, yo, we can fuck with this. This is one of the things that makes the show so accessible. It's not over its top. It's just a story about people that are trying to, like, get away from their past. And like I said in the previous episode, their past always catches up with them.
Exactly.
I never caught that, to be honest. Yeah, that's really cool.
But it is, like, you know, like, for example, in Eulogy or Ganymede Eulogy, you know, you have that happen, and then episode 5, you know.
Yeah, Battle of Fallen Angels.
Exactly. And as y'all watch the rest of the series, you're going to see that there's going to be more of that intertwining, and it's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
I know that I've had a few episodes picked out for Big Red. There's a particular episode that you and I know that I was like, yo, this is straight up some Tarantino shit.
Yeah.
And I hope that you'll vibe with me on that one.
What episode is it?
It's not yet. We're not getting.
He's not going to tell you when.
Yeah, like how far? Oh, okay.
You'll know when
Fair
you
enough,
see
fair
it.
enough,
Yeah,
fair
you'll-
enough.
I'm gonna know it when I see it. I'm not gonna
I hope that you do, and then that's what it is. All right.
Okay.
So, and then as far as my favorite episode was probably Waltz for Venus,
Okay.
and here's why.
Yes.
You see all this badassery. You see like this assholeness. You see like these people kicking ass, trying to get along together and everything. But this is the first time that the show actually humanizes someone.
Right.
You know, because that's the whole thing. Like, Spike goes out of his way. He had no business. Like, there was no money involved. There was nothing to his
He
benefit.
gave him the Bruce Lee
to
fucking.
teach him
Yeah.
the Bruce Lee. Not only that, but then to bring the seats to his sister
Yep.
so she can see.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, like, even the sister loses faith in the brother. and Spike again. No benefit.
Jofer.
No.
By the way, the final shot when the spores are falling down, that's like my favorite. I was
sick.
like, that is amazing how that
Yes.
just ended.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's so much going on there thematically. Like,
Now that being said,
yeah, talk.
That being said, what it is that it actually teaches that, like, yes, as flawed and as fucked up and as like rough around the edges as these people are, there's still a human side to them.
Boom.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing I also wanted to tell you, this is a fun fact. When the show the show did its first few runs, Walter Venus got banned in Adult Swim. You want to know why?
Really?
What?
You want to know why?
Oh, because when she put the gay dudes.
No. Remember Walter Venus, the one with the hijacking.
Oh, because 2001.
Yeah.
The show dropped
the
around
opening of the
2002.
show.
Oh,
the opening
true.
of that episode.
Oh, shit.
When they're on the plane.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah.
That's
right.
yeah.
Well, no. Fun fact though.
Really?
No, dead ass.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yes, dead ass.
But also
Yeah,
that
When
that
they're
same episode when she does run in the room
That's
on
not
those two
dumb,
dudes,
bro.
they actually edited out
Yeah,
one
they
of the
did.
dudes.
But
you fucking.
bro, no, because the only reason.
Now I gotta watch all these.
The only reason because, like, okay, so when I got into the show, like, legit, and as y'all found out, me, Serge, and Bo, we all got along great afterwards. But when I watched the first run, I never actually saw that episode. Serge lets me borrow the series, and I was like, yo, what the fuck?
See, I knew I had that. I got the box
Yeah.
series. I got both.
And then-
I have them both.
Either one of y'all.
No, I have them
but
both.
let me finish my
Trust me, I
point.
do. Trust me, I do.
And I watched
I do.
that episode, and I was like,
promise
wow,
I got
I
them both.
actually have never seen this episode. And I go back and I do a little digging, and because it was a hijacking on an airliner, Adult Swim is like, nah, this is still a little too tender.
Yeah.
They never did it.
I bought them both. Don't play with me.
And then
That's why he said, Surge, let me borrow.
further down the road, you
gonna
will
have
see
an
that there
argument.
was another episode that was banned, and we'll reveal that later. But again, my favorite scene was probably when the kid learns the kung fu move, or I'm sorry, no, fuck that. Whoa, that's sacrilege. No, I'm sorry.
The
No, that's
Jeet
loosely sacrilege.
Kune Do.
The Jeet Kune Do move, and he's like, yo, I did it, and then
Boom.
like right there, he's clapped, you know, and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, I still did it. He's like, hey, man, you're right. He's like, I'm glad I can call you a friend. And again, that just shows the raw humanity that even as fucked up as these people are, you know what? We're all still human beings.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then he defends her, like he defends her brother in front of her. He's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm sure your brother's still a good man, and I was glad to call him a friend. He did this for you, and then boom, you know. Bo, as you and I both know, we've been through this shit so many times. So again, I know that there are better things to come. I would probably give it an 8.5.
Okay. Nice.
Isn't that exactly what I gave it? Or an 8?
I do want to say
Yeah, there
that
it is.
Spike and Tank are both very likable characters too. Like
Yeah.
Spike's a pretty cool guy, you know.
Yeah. Him and Jet are like
26
they're
episodes.
dynamic.
Or Jet, rather, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
But-
would say it's more of like a big brother, little brother dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see that, and you'll see that evolve as well. So
Does the corgi play a bigger role later on?
yes, it does.
The corgi?
Because the corgi's awesome.
You gotta watch
I
it.
love corgis.
Dude, the reason.
Right?
Reason,
Yeah.
dude, the reason I got into Wolf's
You gotta catch
Corgis
up,
is
man.
because of him.
I liked
Exactly.
him before the show. I didn't know there was one
dude,
involved.
like legit, and then I actually researched them that they're actually intelligent dogs.
Oh,
and
they're super, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yes.
Yeah, they're a herding
Yeah.
breed. Yeah.
so
Yeah. That's a fucking great show. I can't wait for you to see the next 5 episodes, which will be reviewed on the next episode of the show.
all right, Bo. So what's your score, man?
So, I already did mine.
He already did his.
Yeah, I did mine.
I haven't watched any of the 5.
Solid 9.
I didn't see any of the most recent ones.
Favorite scene?
So, I did all mine. I did all mine at the beginning.
Here's
of
the
it.
first actually.
Yeah, since I
No. I thought he.
Were you not
I
sitting
see it.
here?
No way. I see it with my good eye. I see it with my good eye.
Oh my god. Damn it, Joe.
All right. The next episode, let me see. Hold
We
on.
need more.
We got 27th. So the 27th is our next episode. That's basically a few days right before the end of the year.
Whoop. The year-end show.
The year-end show. So we are going to do a little bit of a recap. We will do the next 5 episodes, and let's do one movie. One movie.
I have a good one.
And since you've been gone for 2 weeks,
Mandy?
Look up shit real quick.
no, not Mandy.
Oh, Jesus. Not Mandy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tis the season. We're going to watch Krampus.
All right,
With
sounds
Adam,
good.
The one with Adam Scott, not the weird bullshit low budget one that's on like Netflix.
The
or
one with
whatever.
Adam Scott
Yeah.
from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Okay.
And what's his name? David Kochner or Kochner? Have you pronounced it? Kochner.
Yeah, I think so.
He's in it too.
I'll have to find that.
I have it on Blu-ray. You can borrow my copy.
All right, cool. So yeah, we're gonna do the Krampus review, and then we're gonna do the next 5 episodes.
It's campy as
of
fuck.
Bebop, and then we're gonna do a review of the year with movies. We'll kind of
You're gonna do it in December?
yeah.
It is December.
Yeah, might as well.
You know what I'm saying? Star Wars and Uncut Gems.
Star
and
Wars
there's a lot of
comes
stuff.
right out, right?
That comes out right
Yeah,
before that.
There's a lot of stuff comes out Christmas Day. What's
Yeah.
the day we're doing it?
27.
And those, I mean, and really with those, if they were being like entered into anything, it would be the next year either way. So
Really?
yeah, so those could be the ones we jump off to start at the beginning of the year.
Technically,
You know,
it's Christmas is 2019.
I mean,
You want to do it?
Gonna do a little.
Okay. I'm just saying.
If you guys all see it before the
I'm a
show,
fucking-
I don't
I'm
think
being weird.
everybody
I'm sorry.
will be able to see those.
I'm gonna see it.
Admit it.
What?
He's like, I'm being weird. I'm like, oh, now you admit it.
Well, that's the one thing I'm being weird about.
2 hours later.
Everything
All the other stuff was not
normal.
weird.
Right. This is the
That's
weirdest
normal
thing.
red. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it.
But yeah, no, we'll start the new year with those because I think those, especially Uncut Gems, I think those are going to be, and the Star Wars is going to be a bitch to get everybody to see by.
I'm seeing it day one.
You guys want to do it Tuesday night? We can do that too.
Well, we're
I'm
we're
seeing
going with
Uncut
Just
our
for the
pops.
sake of going. Oh, I
yeah,
gotcha.
for Star
Can
Wars.
I review a theater movie or we can't do that?
theater movie?
Uncut Gems.
Good.
Well, that's
no way. I'm-
that's going to be in there, but yeah, for that because with this
I
one,
want to see that.
what Uncut
That's
Gems?
what I'm saying. Like,
We all
I
do.
want that to be my movie for the next episode.
Well, we're only doing.
We're just doing the reviews.
Yeah, we're just doing the
Or
two.
the-
When is that coming
and
out?
then we're doing the year because we got a lot
What's the
of
two?
stuff in the year.
Cowboy Bebop.
The 5 episodes, and then we're going to do the Krampus because he wasn't here for the past 2 weeks. So
Okay.
yeah.
So he gets dibs.
4 weeks.
Although he kind of was in an
Yeah.
episode.
It hadn't been 4 weeks yet.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Like, no, I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
no.
but yeah,
Well,
we're gonna do
for some
that.
reason.
All right, Matt, I want to thank you. Sirs, can we give him a round of applause?
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
We got Ignorant Ales.
In the
This shit was
building.
delicious.
Oh hell yeah!
Big fan of the vegan cat. I definitely am looking forward to your next batches. Go ahead, you're the plug king. Plug away, brother.
Oh shit.
here's your
Fucking FL hops. I'm sorry, Florida Fresh hops for sure. EL Jimmy at Instagram, a graphic designer. Chase the Grind and Prince. Ignorant Ales.
El Gallo Dorado.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And all the stuff they can find you, where they can get it, how they can get it.
You guys
all
got to get with me on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Slide up in my DM, send me some midget porn, and we can do a trade for some beer for sure.
Is it
hentai,
Ignorant
or some
Ales?
hentai.
All right, yeah, hentai for
He
sure.
knows what's up.
The more tentacles, the better.
Yeah, everything is Ignorant Ales.
knows what's up.
At Ignorant Ales on Facebook, at Ignorant Ales on Instagram, ignorantales@gmail.com.
Okay. And what's y'all's? I know you said the event in January. Is that the next event? y'all are
Yeah,
doing?
almost there. Tampa Bay Beer Week.
Okay.
Over at Crooked Thumb Brewery. It's already sold out.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a giveaway for a couple tickets on our social media, so look out for that as well.
Nice. Follow them.
We're going to try and get a couple people plugged in from the studio right now today as well. So,
Nice.
other than that, yeah, just look out on the social medias, man. We're always doing big things on there.
Shout out to Travis from Crooked Thumb.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All
Travis.
right.
Hey, and
Yeah.
Support local.
Coming from a Giants fan, I hope that you guys take the vision away from the Cowboys.
Oh,
man.
God.
Nice.
No.
Go Eagles.
All right.
Fuck
So
Jerry Jones.
Support local.
support local. Thank you again, sir, for
Yes,
coming
thank
in
you.
and bringing us these brews. This has been great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely support local all day, please.
Thank you, Red, for coming in as always. Thank you, Chuck, after
great to be
your
back.
leave of absence. Jofer, thank you for coming in and helping us break down these Bebop episodes. Aruba, you didn't do much, but we still love you.
Hey, it's cool. Hey, I have some shows to plug in, man. If I could.
Yeah, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
do it,
Nah,
do
fuck
it,
that.
do
Get
it.
up here.
All right, run
Stand
the
down,
outro.
hold the mic. That shit.
Can I get the plug? You plug?
There we go.
Good save. Good save. Good save.
Perfect.
Whoa.
That's a pro.
Yeah. Let him go ahead. Plug your shit, Aruba.
All right, man. I have I'm pretty busy, busier than usual in December. I have a toy drive tomorrow. Jokes for Toys. Come out to 13658 University Plaza, Tampa, Florida, 33615. We're taking some donations for underprivileged kids. Get any toys, any kind of monetary gifts you want them to give. Hear me say some jokes. It'd be great.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun.
Your face is a joke.
Oh, coming from the guy with one eye. That was great. Damn, I don't know who got burned. I don't know who got burned.
Getting a fight doesn't
I'm paying pay-per-view dollars.
I don't know who got burned there the most, me or him. Shit, he got the one eye.
Damn, that went down.
God damn.
I got so dark so quick.
Let me
put down my $60.
Let me finish at least. This is for kids.
That
This
really
is for
happened.
kids at least.
That shit just happened.
I'm gonna be out there from between 9 and 4 o'clock to say some jokes, come about, and have some fun. There's gonna be a lot of fun prizes to win, some food out there, and just a good time. Sunday, I'm gonna be out in Clearwater, Battle of the Central Florida Comedy Competition. I'll be out there, show some love. Be out there from 5:30 till the party's done. Support me, Dennis Aruba, out there in Clearwater. Directions, let me see. It's 11141 US Highway 19, Suite 204. I'm going to be hosting another show in December 21st. It's going to be, the show is about unknown vices. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Little midget people porn.
People.
Little people porn, whatever. Fuck.
Unknown vices is the best.
Yo, that right there.
Little midget people.
Come out, and I'm going to be hosting it. I'm going to be the comedic host.
Oh.
There's going to be some good local bands.
All right, let's hold the laughter until Dennis plugs his shit.
All right. Unknown vices. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do it. All right.
Now he's not paying attention.
Hello.
And on the 29th, I'm going to be doing a little event, Create and Chill.
Nice.
And just come on and have some fun. It's going to be in Waimama, but show some love. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. All right, Chuck, you had something to say, sir?
With the holiday season coming up, we all know that the news tends to play a lot of negative stuff. I want to challenge everybody out there this year to do something nice for somebody.
Hell yeah.
To outweigh the negative news with some positive stuff.
Yeah,
Do something nice for somebody.
Yes.
Do something nice for a stranger. Pay for their coffee. Tell them to pay it forward. Do something nice. and
Hashtag
just keep
selfless
going.
challenge. I don't even
Yes.
hashtag shit, but do that.
Follow a little
Do
person
something nice
porn
for
star
somebody
on
this year.
Instagram.
Somebody you don't
like
know.
I like that. Somebody go hashtag the shit out of that right now.
Support a little person.
Selfless challenge. Hashtag it.
Assless chaps.
I like it. Assless chaps.
Buy
Selfless
some
challenge.
assless chaps. That's
All
my
right.
recommendation.
All right, so I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Those who've been tuning in through Facebook this evening, thank y'all for all the comments and support and everything. Again, thank our guests.
Show us some love on Facebook.
Guy,
You got more to say?
Two more comments.
Jesus.
I know. This
This guy shows
it's a
up
long
late, doesn't
episode.
do any homework.
And then-
There's a lot of
now
love
he
out
wants
there.
all the shine.
There's a lot of love out there. So I just want to shout out Katie, Michael,
Yeah.
Tiffany,
Yeah.
all the love out there. Thank
All
you very
of you.
much. Katie out there saying, hey, great show.
Great show. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Matthew Cologne and Jofer need to be back on.
Oh, nice.
Dennis Aruba needs to be practicing.
Oh.
Facts and
I,
facts.
you know, I get that. That's cool. I can
Nice.
take that. But that's all I got to say. Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so
All
thank
right.
y'all
We
again.
love y'all.
Thank everybody for coming. Serge, appreciate you. We're going to roll out with this last bit here. It's a House of I. I love
House
them.
of I,
They're
my
performing
people.
this evening and tomorrow evening. Check them out on Facebook, House of I. They also have Instagram, all that shit. This is called Life off of Alien Nation. Thank y'all for tuning in again. Like, show us, share us, all that shit. Beautiful. Capital L. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Peace.
Just when you
We
thought
love
you
y'all.
were closing the show.
Love
It is time.
And I hate the fact that I closed it so well. I had that.
For those that have been tuning in to the Ohio Radio Network for God knows how long, every single show on said network, make it more even, has one rule. You all get to participate in a segment we like to call Shoot Your Shot. Every single host on the show gets one shot. The guests get two.
Go, Chuck. one shot. Here. Oh, you doing the Michael Scott? Michael Scott joint. Oh! All right. Thank y'all again.
Thank you.
So thank y'all again for tuning in. Again, Potent Full Capital. I love y'all. Peace. House of I. Life.
Momentary frames, my friend, left behind from what can spin. Someone explain what is happening. Experience what might be real. Thoughts, emotions, senses feel. Not connected by this state reveals, questions that we seek, my friend. Answers come within our hand. 'Cause what could all be inside of our heads? Psych-degraded, full of gray. Boundaries lost in slow decay. Time could end on any given day.
You're talking to the Lawless, wearing diamond ring, wearing kiss stealing.
What side you on? You want the loudest right
Limousine
here?
right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.